Broadcasting live. Turn it up another notch. That's how we doing it.
Okay, let me take a look. I think we're live here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, welcome to Open Chat number 80. The Sapiosexual perspective, an analysis of Platinum Elites. So, there's a live stream that I was sent to me on Saturday morning, I think it was, and it was titled "Beauty or Intelligence? What do men really want?" Right? And so the first thing is this. Here's the interesting part, right? It's like legit. This is literally the only platform that speaks about sapiosexualism. Like legit. This is the only one. So if there is a question about like preferences in, let's just say, beauty versus intelligence or something like that, right? And someone wants to kind of preface the conversation about like, well, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna see if this. Okay, you're talking about us, dude, and it's okay. It's okay to say us. It's okay to mention our names. It's okay. You can do that. It's at any rate, though. I mean, because look, this basically the position that he held was the same one. Oh shoot! Give me a second. Let me mute for just a second. Let me grab this. Okay, never mind. It was a robocall. I'm actually kind of waiting for a phone call here, but okay, that wasn't it. All right. So yeah. So I guess the debate here or the discussion is whether men really truly want beauty over intelligence, intelligence over beauty, vice versa, whatever. And it was kind of like the same debate that or the same sort of binary construct, right? That Mr. Fantastic tried to challenge me with on Bernard Riley's channel, maybe like a month and a half ago, something like that, right? And so what I did was I said, okay, I took the link to the live stream and I sent it to a friend of mine, a female friend of mine. And I said, what do you think about this? And so she was just basically like, well, why do you have to choose between one or the other? Or why can't you have both? And I said, for the life of me, I don't know. I don't know why. And no one can understand this shit. I for the life of me, this is so beyond me that this is why this is an open chat. I'm going to post a link in just a second. I just needed to kind of preface this. I'm not going to do any sort of response type of thing where I play, because you can't even follow. There's no logic to follow, right? So it's hard for me to actually pick up like a trail of points that was being made. There weren't any, right? It really just comes down to what your preferences are, right? And so I guess for some dudes, they're gonna pick between one or the other. Sucks to be them, but they're gonna pick, right? And they're gonna go with their dick, and yeah, they're going to get the results that they typically get and all of that. We espouse something different, and then those individuals who don't do what we do think that there's some sort of debate. And it's like, okay, well, do outcomes speak for themselves? You do what you do, you get what you get. We do what we do, we get what we get. We don't argue about your outcomes. So, yeah, right? But I tried to entertain myself and listen to this stuff. And I would say that it's about a whole in total. It's about 6 hours long. Literally, I was able to give it about 15 minutes in various sections. Right, so it was like 2 3 minutes here, and then I skip ahead. Okay, maybe there was a point made over here. A couple minutes here, and I'm like, yeah, I don't hear anything. Let me skip ahead here, and then there's some chick on there, and then it's like, dude, it's like it has nothing to do with time. I'm like, okay, so really, this was baseless. This was really just clickbait. That's really what this was. No icon. I'm not really sure what that means. Um. Oh yeah, I don't have an icon. What the heck is going on here? Huh. That's weird. Why isn't there an icon there? Yeah, there isn't an icon. That's strange. Huh. Take a look. Okay. There we go. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, well there goes. All right. So, for those of you who would like to, here, let me do this. Link, put this over here. Okay, so for those of you who care to check it out, that's the live stream right there. Okay. So, and yeah, in the live stream, I'll just kind of give you some highlights. And if anybody knows his email or anything, I mean, he's more than free to like come up here. I don't think he's ever even been to this platform before, but he's more than free to come up here. If y'all know like his email or how to, send him something. I'm not really too familiar with the guy like that. But I'm like this. I'm a person where it's just sort of like, oh, okay. So if you're speaking about something and obviously it's in reference to what I talk about, I mean, why not just say, hey, that dude Complex Design on the Brain Trust, he talks about this all the time. And I think it's bullshit. Just say it. Right? But what he did was, and this is what even my friend, man, she was kind of bugging on this shit. Like, he's like, okay, he pulls up like Kim Kardashian, a picture of Kim Kardashian, talks about her. And then he pulls up fucking Kamala Harris. And he's like, okay, well, who are you going to choose? It's like, what the fuck, dude? Neither. What kind of shit is that? And then, there was some guy on the panel. He goes, you have to choose what he goes. The guy, he goes, what are you going to choose? Beauty or intelligence? You got to choose one or the other. No, this is what I mean. That's stupid. No, you don't. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like that's like literally like that's like dumb thinking. That's like stupid. Like, even my homegirl, she was just like, well, why can't you have both? I was like, I don't know. I don't know why men think this shit. Why? Because they can't get it. Like their ass is too dumb to be with a chick with some brains. So they can't be with a chick with some brains. So they need her without it. Now, what they'll do is and you got to understand, this is like the reverse. It's like the reverse of the argument where women say there's no good men, right? Because essentially what men are saying is that there's no such thing as an attractive woman who's intelligent. That's essential, because he was basically telling the guy, well, look, you can't have both. You have to pick one or the other. I never said, dude, I've always said, look, dude, it's all about the virtues of an intelligent woman. Okay, that doesn't mean that she can't also be like beautiful or gorgeous or oh fuck, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Black Dev, I know, but it was actually Mike V who said, I should actually go live and kind of talk about it. And hell, even have the guy up if he's around. I mean, I don't like I said, I don't really. I got sent the link. I don't go to his streams. I'm not subbed to him. I don't know, but I tried listening to it, and it was very hard for me to listen to. I couldn't even, like I said, I had to send it to a homegirl of mine, right? And I'll tell you right now, she's better than anything he messes with. Right off the rip, I've heard him on Bernard Riley's stuff saying what it is that he deals with. Yeah, no, she's better than anything that he messes with, and even she was just like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I was just like, "Yo, help me out." I'm thinking, I need a woman's perspective on this. Help me, sis. Like, help me out. And she was just like, "Oh my god." So, you know, I just I'm like, okay, so this is what we're having an open chat about, because I'm like, okay, are we confused about this? Okay, no, serious question, fellas, you guys that are out there, do you honestly believe you can't have both? Do do you guys really believe this shit? Do you really think you can't have both in one person? I mean, that this is a kind of like a sad state to sort of be in, or be thinking, or like a level to be thinking on, that um yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What
Oh, I'm
hey, what's
sorry.
hey, oh, um
Are you
wait,
talking about? Okay.
I'm sorry, dude, go ahead.
Are you talking about that dude made a video about beauty or intelligence? What men want? That's strange. How did he got your video though? Like that's like a 6 hour live stream.
Well, I mean, it was a live stream about, like, because you can hear at the beginning of it, essentially it was sort of like a, without saying the brain trust, without saying any of that, it's like a, man, you got these dudes out here, talking about this, intelligence over beauty, but we
Hmm.
gonna talk about this because, man, we got to get to the bottom, right?
Yeah, I
And
know what you
then
mean.
and then we bring up like Kim Kardashian and Kamala Harris, right?
Oh
Or like
Lord.
even the thumbnail for the
Yeah.
video, it's just like some random chick who just kind of has her hair back, and there's like some model chick on one side, and then like just some random chick who has glasses on and her hair pulled
Okay.
back. And I'm like,
Okay. Let me
whoa,
look
okay,
at it.
wait, hold on. So I'm like, okay, well, even the chick, like the picture of the chick with the glass, I'm like, okay, are
Okay.
you taking that picture out of context? Right? Like, did you
Yeah.
just pull some random picture of a girl who just happened to be on a day where maybe she was like, who the fuck knows, working out or something, or just doing something random?
Yeah.
And so you just say, oh yeah, brainy chick, when that may not even be her normal steez. It's just fucking weird to even contextualize shit like this and think that you have
Yeah.
some sort of intellectual basis. That's why I was like, I'm welcoming him up here for anyone who knows. Like I said, I'm like, dude, shit.
Yeah.
For
I want to
posterity
see what he
reason, I'd
got to
like to have the
say.
conversation on this platform here. You can explain it intellectually.
Yeah. I wish he would come here to address some of the points he disagreed with. I mean most panels I just got from chat talking about colorism, which is silly to me. But
Who?
but I ain't gonna. There's a video about colors. Men arguing over skin tones. Most the opposite sex brings it up historically. Her little problems. But I ain't gonna get into that. The one person, he said, "Don't mention anybody in the chat." I said, "Okay, Mr. Reset. Okay, okay, chill, chill." And it
Uh,
it kind of it, it kind of blew up in someone's face. But if you notice in every live stream, they don't talk about this stuff, and I think this is the only channel that they're figuring it out, that we're the only ones that are talking about it as a collective. This small fraction of brothers here with this
well, I mean, no, we've been talking
sapiosexual.
about it since
Yeah,
this
yeah, you've been talking about it
platform.
for years, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just saying
been,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but I'm
nothing
just
new.
saying that. Yeah, it's not new, but I just researched. I say, wow, people ain't talking about it as much. I mean, I think it's trending right now. I may do some more research on the Sapio thing, because see
I
how
mean,
it's affecting
if
real
it's
life.
trending, it's not here,
Yeah,
right? If it's trending,
yeah.
it's not here
It's
because
probably offline.
well,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's trending in the sense that it's not something that most people can readily grasp, and that's the fundamental
yeah,
issue that I have with
yeah,
those who kind of have some sort of anti position on it or take a position against it
yeah, yeah,
when they don't actually engage in it, practice it, or it's not even their own dating and mating modality to begin with.
yeah.
So
And I think it's
yeah.
mostly the people that's not straight. I've researched it, and they said it's going to be hard for most people. It deals with discipline. It deals with the person intellectual and someone's character. It's just like what Wacky said. If you're dealing with character in a female or nice looking chick, and if she don't have some of those traits, it's like, okay, that's kind of bad. And I agree with them. Yeah, they do crazy things, the opposite sex, but the key thing is, do you want to spend your life, rest of your life with that person? But it tells you, like, you don't have to know everything what a sapio does. You just got to learn from each other. It's like a two-way street in a
Well,
way.
it,
It's
well,
unisex.
well. The term sapio implies that. Okay, so this is what. Okay, which what we're not trying to do here is to really superimpose the typical tropes in terms of, like, let's just say the complaints that you have about the opposite gender, right? Females. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The implication that you're dealing with a woman with intelligence means that her maturity level, it supersedes her immature actions. You get what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you
So
mean.
so there's attributes like grace and class that actually are at the forefront of her actions. That means that what she doesn't do is engage in immature behavior. You follow what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm following what
Okay,
you're saying.
okay. See, so you're dealing with a higher class of woman.
Woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're dealing with a higher class of woman, guess what you're not dealing with? The bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So sapiosexualism is a way of weeding out the women who are not about the bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, is there anyone who would like to argue that point?
I can't even argue
You
that point because
cannot, and this is the
it's
whole
hard.
point,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so
Yeah.
if you like them chunky, okay, well then no, 'cause follow what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you like them chunky, guess what? There's probably some sapio chicks in there. If you like them skinny, there's probably some sapio chicks in there. You like them earthy, there's probably some sapio chicks in there. You
I
like them
see it from.
prissy and you prim and proper, there's probably some sapio chicks in there. You like them bookwormish. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
See, of every archetype, the different type of female variances, there's going to be a sapio in all of them. So
You
whatever
make.
whatever your flavor is in terms of the physical archetype that you like, there's an
Mhm.
intelligent counterpart in there, in that group, in all
Exactly.
groups. It's
Yeah.
just like
Exactly.
when people talk about races of people. Guess what? You have all of the various personality types in each group.
Exactly.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is more. That's what I mean. It's like, okay, think about this intelligently.
Mhm.
Some things are not even part of the sapio conversation when you fully understand what this is about. It's that's for the lesser modality people, right?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
for those who don't want intelligence in their counterpart. Okay,
Exactly.
they can't deal with that because they don't want their counterpart outthinking them or has the ability to solve problems or can see through their bullshit.
Yeah.
That would be
That's
the
like a
primary reason why a
black
lot of
pill.
dudes don't want a chick with a brain on her shoulders, man.
Yeah, that's like a black pill perspective. I like how you summed it. It just breaks down who they really are. You know, like different sides and archetypes. I was like, man, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look some of that up. You know,
What
about the
Re-Up? Wait,
sapio
hold
stuff.
on. Re-Up says brown skinned chicks just have low self-esteem, so
I
they
don't know about all that.
project. I'm not. First of all, the live stream isn't about brown skinned chicks, and second, I actually have a thing for brown skinned chicks. Did you see the thumbnail? The chick in the thumbnail does not look like she has low self-esteem. So again, I'm not really sure who you're rocking with, bro. What's going on, Renaissance man?
Hey, what's up, Complex? What's up, Strawberry?
What's going on?
Got an echo. It sounds like.
Oh wait. Okay. Yeah, I know the hack. I know the hack. Okay, how about now?
How's this?
You're
Yep.
good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's a little StreamYard hack there.
yeah. No, I had to come up just because I hear this argument in the manosphere all the time,
Exactly.
and I'll hear specifically. I'll hear people say, "He said, oh, Mike said Platinum Lead is on his way
Oh,
over."
great.
Good.
I'll hear guys say, oh, I don't care what a woman looks like. I don't care about. I'm sorry. I'll hear them say, I don't care what a woman's education is. I only care what he looks like. And I'm thinking, if you don't care about that, like, you realize this is the woman who's going to be bearing your children, like bringing your kids in the world, raising them, assuming you want traditional families like these guys are talking about, spending more time with you. I'm sorry, with your children than you are, and you want that person. You don't care if that person's intelligent. I mean, one of the things, when I was reading about Steve Jobs' life, some years back, and his mother taught him to read before he went to preschool. So he was so far ahead of the kids who were, in school. School was essentially boring to him. And when guys say this stuff, I'm like, have you ever heard of mother's wit and what that is? Just like, it's a crazy argument, and I think it kind of shows how disingenuous some people are when they say that they want this traditional family structure and things like that. Because, I mean, intelligence and beauty is not an either or. There are plenty of women. I mean, just go look at a college campus.
I mean, dude, it's that's the reason why I'm like, all right, well, I it, if the, and look, I'm almost starting to think that like if men actually if that comes out of their mouths, they themselves like have a level of stupidity within themselves. It's fundamentally not a smart thing to say. You
Yeah.
do realize this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you look at I know this goes back and forth, but I think it's actually true. The most educated group of women is Asian women in this country, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when you start looking at a worldly scale, they're actually the most desired women if you go by what the world says, not just America. So I'm like, once again, this is not an either or.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It
that's like
depends
the
what
fun,
you.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing, man. It's sort of like, well, as a man, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, right? If you feel as though you have to pick one or the other, right? You're kind of doing yourself a disservice. Like if I flip the mirror around, it's no different than if a woman thinks that she has to choose either, some bookwormy dude or some street nigga, right? It's the dichotomous way of thinking, this binary thought process. It's reflected in the same way women say, okay, either I got to get this bum street nigga or I got to go get this square dude who makes a lot of money, as if there's no, you know what I mean, as if you can't have like, okay, a blue collar, not even a blue collar dude, just a dude who's
He's
about
in
his
the
own.
chat.
Yeah, well, he's about like his own fucking like frame and masculinity, right?
Right.
But at the same time, he's not an idiot. I don't know. Women in their minds think that they can't have both.
But here's the thing: when I look at successful dudes, like okay, I'll sometimes look at like some of these athletes and who they pick as a wife, and like I remember reading about Patrick Mahomes and his wife. Like his wife is a former athlete like him. He's obviously a quarterback, but she's an attractive looking girl, but she's responsible for his meal plan. Like she contributes that towards, hey, okay, you know, this is my husband, he's successful, or my fiance, he's successful, and this is how I contribute to it. Like that's what you're sort of missing out when you start saying, "Oh, I just want a woman who's pretty and no intelligence." Like you're literally missing out on someone who can help take you to the next level.
Well, here's the thing about that, right? I won't even go so far as to say that because see, I'm thinking water seeks its own level, right? This is my thought. That's why I'm not even critical of what it is that men ultimately want, or women what they want, because water seeks its own level. But I think that if you kind of call our position bullshit and say that, well, intelligence, these intelligence over beauty, come on now. Well, wait, who said that?
Yeah,
Why can't you have both? And
yeah.
so that's the point. It's at that point where I'm kind of like, okay, well, where's the nuance in your conversation, man?
Yeah,
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hey, let me do this here. I want to just welcome Platinum deleted. Wait, hold on. I got to do this first, and then I got to do this. Okay. All right, cool deal. Platinum Elite, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can.
You're welcome, man. Hey, just real quick, man. I don't think you've ever been. I don't think this is your first time here. You ever been to this
I've
platform?
been subbed to you guys for about 5 months, man. I've been over here a bunch of times.
Okay, wait. Let
Uh,
me let me see. Can you get some volume on your mic?
yeah, hold on. Can you hear me now?
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go. Okay, say
we
that again.
can. We can.
I said I've been subbed to you guys about 5 months. I've been off and on over here. Mike V, I met him. He seemed like a real cool dude.
Mhm.
I don't know if you care too much for me, Complex. So I accepted that's the way you felt. So I just left you alone.
Well, I mean, no, it's not this. Wait, you said you don't know if I accept you?
Yeah, I just got the impression you want a big. You really didn't care for me. I left you alone. You're a grown man. I'm a grown man. I just out of respect, I've joined your channel because of Mike V.
I mean, no. I mean, you're good, dude. It's YouTube. You're free to sub to any channel you like.
I know I like to support all the content creators, though. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
No, I
We just
appreciate
might
that. I
have
wasn't sure
difference.
if you were just familiar with this platform or not.
We just have differences of opinion. That's the way I look at it.
Right. No. I understand we have differences of opinion. Um, I would say that what we kind of espouse here with regard, because see what we talk about here in terms of the dating mating aspect of things, it's not what is, let's just say, standard fare in the manosphere, right? So typically, when someone has some sort of conversation, when they say, "Okay, beauty over intelligence," right? What do men really want? Okay, I kind of already know where you're poaching from, right? And so I think when I went and checked out your live stream, you said you're only subbed here for about 5 months and you off and on. So in listening to your live stream and the position that you were taking, there was very little nuance, uh, very little intelligence in terms of like your how you kind of positioned your point.
I disagree. I have other people. I'm just not the only person. I had other people, but we try to be factual, and men don't. When men date women, and see, I don't know your age because this is where I can agree with you. Men of a certain age and certain experience,
Hmm.
they probably do search for intelligence.
Okay, well, wait. Let's stop there. When you say men of a certain age, what age are you speaking to?
I would say probably okay. I would say a divorced man of 40 and over.
Okay, are you a divorced man of 40 and over?
I don't get into all of that.
Okay, are you over 40?
No, I don't get. Well, my age doesn't matter, man.
It,
The information is information.
wait, how does
Well,
your
well,
age not matter with what you're just qualifying? Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Let's
no,
start
no.
there.
Because no. I'm saying we said do the
Well, you are, and
top. Wait a
just so
minute.
you know,
Wait a
you are speaking to men as well.
I know. The topic was not age related. It was beauty versus intelligence.
Right.
Wait a minute. What do men want? That's a broad, sweeping question, right? So, the majority of men wanted beauty because they felt they could make money, they could take care of the rest. That's where the conversation led. Now, I'm gonna give you a point I'm trying to make. If, say, one of your members would have joined and offered that point of view that, hey, I've dealt with women early on and I got my feel of that, but I felt that as I got older, it was
Well,
just
why
a
are you?
better
First of all, you're
decision.
making assumptions that that's actually how one gets to.
No. I'm saying they. I'm
Well,
close
no,
up.
you're saying that what should have happened was somebody from this platform should have went to your live stream and then said what's coming out of your mouth. However, if I would have went to your live stream, what you're saying is not what would have came out of my mouth. So we're pre-positioning
Okay, I
a
got you.
false
Okay,
position.
I got you.
So let's
I don't
start
know.
there.
Yeah, I don't know what you would have said.
Exactly,
Complex.
exactly.
But my
So
point is,
let's
had,
let's
had an
start there. What-
individual position that a man of a certain age and experience, perhaps still captivated by specifically beauty, may not select women just
that's
based
very
on
vague.
that.
You're saying
then
perhaps
that
in May. Wait.
no, that
You're
position would
giving
have been
you're giving me
represented.
perhaps in May, and these are hypotheticals.
I agree.
Okay, so again, you're not really fully versed on what we discuss here, are you?
Yeah. You guys talk. From what I get, you guys talk like older brothers, almost like grandfathers, in my opinion, from listening to you guys.
Grandfathers.
I'm 31 years old.
And I'm
Oh, okay.
32.
Where
I'm
everybody
32.
here is older than you. Let's just put it like that, or younger than you.
We don't know
Everybody
that.
on this panel right now is younger than you.
Well, we don't know that. In my age,
We know
doesn't matter.
that. We know that.
I mean, I don't see why it's something we're having an unknown about. I mean, what's wrong with you
Yeah,
saying your
yeah.
age?
What's wrong with that? I'm in my early 30s, man.
Right.
Come on.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with being. in
Well,
your
no.
30s.
What it does, here's what it does, you guys. What it does is it does not give him a firm position that we can then counter on, right? So, but it's okay. It's okay. I guess what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get him to understand like our mindset, because the fundamental issue that I'm having here is that he's saying, well, what men want, and he's saying that to me as if he's not talking to a man, and he's not talking to a
Well,
group of men,
Hey,
right?
Mike said it. I think it's a good idea. He said give him 5 minutes to lay out his perspective. I think that's
Oh,
a good,
okay.
good idea.
That's a great
because
idea.
I
That's a
had
great
provided
idea.
the link to the live stream, but yeah, if you want to go ahead and let's go ahead and do that.
No. Look, out of respect to the whole group and Mike, he hit me up. I said, I came through. Just have my opinion, man. Just like you guys have yours. You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, lay it
Oh.
out for us. That's all we're saying.
Well, no,
Go-
because
go ahead.
Mike is actually correct. He's correct in the sense that maybe because, like I said, I couldn't really pick up what your point was in the live stream. So maybe if I give you 5 minutes to go ahead and break
Well,
it
I
down.
don't know. You didn't. You probably didn't listen. I was very, very fair. Had someone. Most of the people who were there, their choice was beauty. And
No,
as women and as I've known men throughout my life, men, their first choice is an
Men.
attractive woman. They're not really concerned about. They don't want her to do their taxes. Okay.
Who
So
said
we're a
that?
little
Wait,
tongue-
who said anything about taxes?
We're a little tongue in cheek over there. We have fun.
No. Who said no? Legit though. Who said anything about taxes?
I just said.
I have a tax guy. I don't need her to do taxes.
Oh, there you go. See, you know what I'm saying? We're a little funny with it. Hey, man, I want a beautiful woman. I want a fertile woman. I want a woman to raise my sons. I want a mother. I want
With no
a sister.
intelligence.
Well, I don't think. Well, I don't think they want it. I don't
Wait, so
think she had to be
you want
just
all of that
devoid of
with
it.
no
Look,
intelligence whatsoever?
it was there. You go. That's what I'm saying. Some guys they didn't want any. So
Really?
hey, look, man. That's what we do. We it's insightful. That's the funny thing about it.
Yep, it
It's
is.
hilarious.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this: when you say God, you say men. Are you just talking about black men, or are you saying this represents? Are you talking about U.S. men, or this your experiences men across the earth?
Yeah. Are we lesser men because we don't? What help us understand?
I
No,
don't
not
get that. No, Compact. I'm gonna give you the benefit. I do not get that because I was told by other men in this space they felt as if our conversations were making them feel like lesser. I don't get that one. It's just my opinion. Just like I'm here, right? I'm with I'm
Yeah.
with three other men
no. I was just asking from a
offering my
culture
opinion.
standpoint. Like, are you talking about
Yeah.
more focused on just black men, or men of all demographics in this country? I'm just curious.
From my experience with men, I was not I never I just didn't see men look for intelligence over, now this is the point, over beauty.
Who
I
said
I didn't
intelligence
see them
over
discount
beauty?
it. I didn't see them discount it. If a woman was really smart
Mhm.
and pretty,
Yeah.
that was a keeper. But
Okay. So
if
that's what we talk about. That's what we talk about.
okay,
This is where I fundamentally don't understand like the beauty or this or that argument,
I got you.
right?
Well,
Like, look, look. I had a extreme. Look, I had an exchange with Mr. Fantastic, right? Where it, that point was so lost on him that the exchange derailed into him like basically talking about my deceased wife. Okay,
mhm.
but it's fundamental. It's kind of like, well, why must you break it down to that when you can have both?
Okay.
And if there are men who prefer to have both, why is this? Why is this cause for a debate, or why is it cause for some sort of binary schism to break down whether a man really wants the intelligence or the beauty part? Like, you have to try to parse it out. If I say, well, hey man, look, I can't deal with a chick who is just dumb as a box of rocks, and then what like maybe men who share your position will say is like, well, you don't need them smart, and it's just like, okay, well, I don't necessarily prefer them to be dumb, right? Now, does
Mhm.
that mean that I don't like them gorgeous or beautiful or attractive? No, it just means I don't like them dumb.
And see, that's my whole point of my channel. If someone would have represented that position, it would have enlightened the panel and others listening that this guy's
Well, I heard a guy on your panel actually say that he wanted both, and you were like, no, you can only have one or the other. And that was at that point I said, what the fuck?
no.
What?
Uh-oh.
Why is it that
Uh-oh.
you have to have one or the other?
If the question is that, then we have to stick to the topic. 'Cause, look, we asked some difficult questions, so because we got to make that answer. Got to give me an answer that you probably don't want to give me. Now it's easy to come up. First of all, it's very easy to come up here and say, "Hey, man, I want a very intelligent woman, and obviously she's beautiful, and I prefer, I like these women." But in my opinion, this is where my opinion is. Those women just don't get that much attention from men. They there's actually women who teach their daughters to be a little bit, not to outshine
But
their husbands.
and don't you agree that there's a level of intimidation with some men with that?
Oh yes, yes. We and look at Homer. See, in the white community, they make fun of it because the Homer Simpson. He's a dumbass. All of that Family Guy, all the guys are dumbasses. The women save the day. If you watch the little sitcoms, because the guys are idiots, right? It's like black people, even this Cleveland show thing, but it's like black people. Well, it's pretty obvious. Look, in the black community, even in these movies, they make the woman the smart one, they make the man the dumb one. But it's like we don't want to deal with that in the sense that I don't understand. I think there's a lot of dishonesty in the black community, and in
Yeah,
complex.
let's talk about it. Yeah.
No, where
It
you
is.
going with
Go
to me?
ahead.
I mean, like you're a rare dude. Then how about I'll put it like that? If you actually, and like I said, an older, experienced guy, a guy who's dealt with women and their bullshit, I can see him say that. Hey, man, I had my share of pretty bitches. I'm good.
Well, hey,
But what's older?
hey, man, like we kind of run a, we kind of run a more mature platform, man. Let's make sure we're not.
Okay, my fault. I mean,
Yeah.
talking about the profanity.
Yeah,
You
no,
got it. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
I just wanted to quickly ask you, like, you say older. What are you defining as older? Do you think there's something wrong with a man who's like 25, 26, 27 having that mentality as well?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would be surprised by it. Now, if he was married on his second marriage, I wouldn't be surprised by it. I'm saying you got to put the experience factor in there too, because you need to be able to. You have to have had some experience.
Okay. So you mean your experience has to be had with dumb women?
No, pretty women.
No, I'm saying dumb women. Are
Well,
you
I mean,
so
it-
so in
look,
order
look,
for you to
look,
in order
look,
for you to in order for
okay.
you to ultimately develop a preference for a more intelligent woman, you have to basically cut your teeth with stupid ones. Is this what you're telling me?
No, you're looking at them as dumb women. I'm saying pretty women. See the difference?
No. Because see, what I never made a distinction between, right, pretty women who are dumb and pretty women who are smart. Now, when I say dumb women and intelligent women, why don't we do this? Let's assume both are pretty. We'll split it right down the middle. Let's assume both are pretty, and we're literally just talking about the virtues of dealing with a dumb one versus a smart one.
I
Just
got
do
you,
that.
but that wasn't my question. Look,
Well,
listen,
no, I mean, but
listen to
no,
me.
the
No.
realistically speaking,
No,
right?
no,
Well,
no.
hold on, Platinum, because again, we're gonna raise this conversation up a bit because I wanted you to come here to have this conversation, right? Because what I'm trying to actually get you to do is to reprogram your thoughts on this.
I don't have to because I know what I'm
Well,
doing.
okay, well
Hey,
then,
let's
given
hold up,
that,
let's
well
wait.
then, given that you're here,
No, I'm
just
going to show you.
consider. Well, hold on.
No,
What I
I'm
would
just
like
trying to
for
give
you
you an
to
example
do.
where you make. I'm just showing you where you made your mistake. I know
I
what
didn't
I
make
put
a
up there.
mistake.
The options were beauty versus intelligence. It wasn't.
Right, and I'm saying
Do
that
you
men
want to
don't
date a
have to
dumb
do that.
chick?
Men
It
don't have
wasn't
to do
about
that.
dumb women.
But men don't have to do that, and young men don't have to do that. Young men don't have to cut their teeth dealing with stupid women, and they don't. None of these things you're talking about are anything that men have to do.
Okay, and none of the things you're talking about are anything they
I know,
have
but see,
to
the
do.
things that we are talking about are more beneficial
Wait.
for men.
Can I ask Platinum one question?
Go right
Platinum,
ahead, man.
I do have one question. Would you consider, if we're talking about women who are relatively intelligent, would you consider, is it fair to say if a woman is college educated, she's relatively intelligent?
She's programmed. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I'll say yeah.
Okay. When you look at marriage rates as far as like who gets divorced, the black community is kind of a unique situation. But when you look outside of the black community, those women who are college educated actually get married and stay married at a higher rate than their non-educated counterparts, which that makes me think when you have this argument of, men just value beauty and really don't care about intelligence in the sense, I think that disputes that in the sense of they're obviously tend to get married to their college counterparts and they're staying married. And those men are going to be the men who have more choices in society as a whole.
Good
So,
point.
Mike,
What's
I
going
got
on,
you.
Jay Sean?
Those men. Look,
I just wanted to welcome Jay Sean on. He just joined the panel.
let me say
Peace, fam.
something. Let me say
Peace,
something
brother.
to
What's
you
going on?
guys.
Peace,
You got
Jason.
it. You got it. Platinum. Go ahead.
Let me say something. You guys provide a source of information and a great place for black men or men to enlighten themselves. You guys do. You're part of this group that's created here. I don't have a problem with you guys. There are things that we probably might disagree with, but I don't have a problem with you guys' platform. But we're just different, man. Now, where I feel I'm falsely accused of, I don't do anything to people that they're not doing on their own. I ask opinions. They give me their opinions. Those men who participated and myself, we like beauty more. We're more concerned with a pretty chick. Hey, we see a pretty chick. That's who I want to talk to. I want to get to know her. As far as a smart chick or whatever, yeah, I mean, if she is, she is. If she
Would
is,
you
she
talk
is.
to that pretty chick if she was intelligent?
Of course. Yes.
But would that be a turnoff to you in
No.
comparison to, if you had the choice between a woman who was not as intelligent but was just as pretty, or a woman who was a little bit more intelligent but pretty?
Well, let's not even. I don't even allow. Like I said, I don't even want to split those here. Let's say same chick, one stupid, one smart, because that's really what I'm ultimately getting at here, right? If you have the preference is always going to be towards the most intelligent version.
But maybe
If
not.
you're
But
as a
for some,
man, you're cutting yourself. You're cutting yourself short. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're potentially putting yourself in a situation to make to to create lesser intelligent children. Everything.
but,
Exactly.
You're gonna. Well, what is the benefit?
Okay.
so, like I said,
Okay. No. No.
complex.
No. No.
Some
Wait.
men
Wait. Wait.
are
Wait.
intimidated by that.
I got. Wait. 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 Now, because you said, okay, so you said create lesser intelligent children. You think that two mm, basically intelligent human beings can't produce a higher intelligent child?
Say that again.
Do you think two just basic, just basic, nothing special about them,
Hmm.
intelligent human beings reproduce, the
Hmm.
child can't be of higher intelligence?
Do you see that? How accurately do you, or how do you see that more reflected in, say, like the black community, or like in other communities? Like who are like the technocratic people who create, like the people who go to like the schools that then go on to create the businesses that make a shit ton of money? Are they those people that you just talked about?
The complex. You didn't answer my question.
That
It
did
was a yes.
answer it.
It was a
Okay, so
yes.
there, I'll answer it in short.
So it was yes then, right?
No, I'll answer it in short.
No, you
So,
you you asked me if I see it. I said, do you think two
mhm.
basic intelligent people, just basic intelligence, reproduce, can't not create a higher intelligence child?
Well,
Because
you
you
just
said
said two. You
that
said two
doesn't happen.
intelligent. You said. Are you
You
saying
said
basic
you
people?
mate with them because you want to reproduce intelligent kids. That's what you said.
No, what I said was is that intelligent people typically are going to create intelligent offspring.
Okay, now, you're entitled to that opinion. That's an opinion, right?
Well, I would say if you look at how society is structured, it
You can
actually
find
kind of reflects it a little bit.
you can find it based in fact. If your
I
parents
mean,
go to
yeah,
college, you're more likely to go to college.
right.
It's just you're
Okay,
more likely
Peer
to do what your
groups,
parents do. Yeah,
social groups,
I
yeah.
got you, but
job
but we
opportunities, living environment.
but we
All that
I mean,
shit.
but we
there's a
no hold
reason
up,
you
but
have things like Jack and Jill. People may not like it, but there's a
So,
reason those type of
fraternities and
organizations
sororities,
exist.
social, right?
I got you, but we know that. I mean, I know. I can speak for myself. I don't know where you guys, where you've come from, where you've grown up. I have been around um, women who go on to finish college, and their father had a third grade education,
Hmm.
and their mother had a GED,
Yeah.
and they came right up out of there with brothers and sisters
Hmm.
who some of them didn't even finish high school, but they made it, and they very very intelligent, very
Right. So,
professional,
so,
a
so
professional
should
woman.
they go? So, should they then take all of those hard-earned gains and then dip right back into like the waste pool to reproduce and date and mate?
I think that's a decision they would have to make
No, I
because
mean, but
love. Wait a minute. Wait,
logically, like
no,
I
no,
know it's
no.
an individual
Oh,
imperative, but
okay.
would you
So see,
suggest that they
well,
do it?
first of all, you said logically because when you're talking about love, that's not even logical. I mean, that stuff is all emotional.
What? No, no, no. You're not
Uh,
talking about love. No, no,
I,
you're not
well, I
actually.
was gonna
You said
say
you said should they date back? They might like Pookie Bear.
Well, no, I
Whoa,
mean
whoa,
when you
hold on.
talk about dating and mating, you're never talking about love.
Wait a minute, complex. Are we trying to say black women don't date Pookie Bear? I mean, in their professional
Well,
white
and
collar
no, and so
women.
what I'm asking you is that if the daughter, and I want to get Jay Sean in, if the daughter of the man with a third grade education and the mother that had a GED, right, finds herself with a college degree and a six-figure job, right? Should she then go back and pick up a dude who has a third grade education?
Are you asking me? Are you asking
I'm
Jay
asking
Sean?
you, is that the smart thing for her to do?
If you're asking me, I'm going to say that she should be
Would
happy.
you want your daughter to do that?
Would you want your daughter to do it?
No.
Okay,
no, I
there you
wouldn't
go.
want-
Hey, what's going on, Jay Sean?
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I got a question for Platinum. Because my Platinum's the homie, and I got a question for him. Because I'm late to the conversation, so I'm gonna just throw it right back to Platinum. Platinum, or just give me some context here. When you talking about a pretty woman versus a smart woman, are we talking about something to do, or are we talking about wifey?
I'm talking about something to do.
Okay, that's all right. So that's what. All right, so that
It
that
can
brother.
lead to that.
Yeah, all right, that's what I'm saying. I want to keep this in context. The reason why I say that,
Well,
brother,
see-
is this: because in my experience, a woman who lacks intelligence is going to she's going to devolve or default to primal instincts, which is mostly going to be emotional, which makes her destructive. You know what I mean? And and that's what I see with a lot of women, even women who have quote unquote degrees. We got to separate education from intelligence. Jay-Z's not educated, but he's very intelligent.
No, I was just using that as a general barometer, just to
No,
have
no,
a
I
general
know.
discussion. I wasn't saying everybody who goes to college is smart and everyone
Right.
who doesn't is stupid.
No, I know, but I'm just saying I think that's what a lot of people get caught up with, because there are a lot of people who are college educated, but they're street. They don't have no common sense. They're not worldly. You know what I mean? So intelligence,
Agreed.
who are very, they just have they just naturally get things. They math.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and
let's
they mind
not
work.
confuse intelligence and
that's right.
educated.
Right. So when I'm looking at it, let's keep it back to the women now. If I'm looking at a woman, I'm looking at intelligence. No matter where she's at on the pyramid, the social economic scale, if she's showing me intelligence, I'm gonna lean more towards her because she's gonna be the mother of my child. Furthermore, I'm a businessman. I need somebody around me who's not gonna fuck up my money. Excuse my French.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So if I have a woman that's around me who's not intelligent, I know she's gonna default to that ratchet, emotional nonsense, and she's gonna jump the gun. She's gonna do volatile stuff. She's gonna do the destructive stuff, and I can't have that, because that you're gonna in the system we live in, we pay a big price for the type of women we engage with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
was
Exactly.
going to quickly add, Jay Sean, on your point about being a businessman, even taking that to another extent, when you start talking about if you're an entrepreneur, being able to leverage your wife's skills as you're building a business. So,
Yeah.
okay, I can put instead of going and hiring someone to do my taxes, my wife is an accountant, so she can handle that. Or I can put her in charge of budgets, or she can do all the scheduling.
I mean, the baseline for anybody who's intelligent is that they think first. That's the baseline attribute of intelligence. It's somebody who's like, you know what? Something happens. They don't like what's happening. Their emotions are starting to flutter, but they stop and they think.
But that's why Jay Sean, fundamentally, I can't understand why anyone would prefer to deal with somebody who can't think.
Yeah. Look, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I used to be a nightclub promoter in DC. All right. I used to work at the Pentagon. The day that was when I was Bruce Wayne. At night, I was Batman at the club. All right. And I was a low-level promoter. I worked under Mark Barnes, Taz, my power unit. If anybody in the area know who I'm talking about, they know who I'm talking about. And being in that lifestyle, we have a lot of beautiful women around us. Chicks that work the doors, chicks who do bottle service. I'm selling tables. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I met a lot of beautiful women. I've slept with a lot of beautiful women. And the thing is this. When you get around a lot of beautiful women, it gets old, for one. Two, when someone open their mouth, man, it's very, very, it's a turnoff when someone start talking because they're so stupid. And it's so immature. I mean, it's so immature and idiotic, and you don't even want that around you.
I can't get it up around the chick,
exactly.
man.
I'm holding cash, and I got things to do, and I got to go back and go all haggle with this club owner who's trying to get over, and I got to deal with the bouncers, and I got to pay the DJ. I ain't got time for her nonsense. And she thinks she's so goddamn cute that she can be a bubblehead. So For me, I would take a 9 on a drunk night. But if you give me an intelligent chick that's a solid 6 or 7, she's winning.
Like, yo, I gotta be real with you, man. Like, yeah, like it's like when like so for example, man, like Seven Granules, man, he be like uploading those videos, right? So they pop up in my feed, and I'll just check it, like the exchanges, right, that he has with these women, right? And I swear to God, dude, it's like my skin, like it crawls.
It makes you crawl,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you
they
cannot
man.
be this fucking stupid.
Yeah, and I got
But he's like a genius though. He's trying to make money and trying to capitalize. You
Well,
know,
No, I
that's
mean,
what
yeah,
he
look,
does.
that's a very my bad, Jay Sean. That's a very good business enterprise. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Jay
it
Sean.
is just because he's looking at the format. He knows that women are this idiotic and that they're this selfish.
Good
They're
God.
all
Exactly,
high
exactly,
value
Jason.
men. They have no respect for the men who built the country. A man making 60, 70,000 ain't good enough for him. It's idiocy. And the numbers are not on their, and the numbers are not on their side. It doesn't make no sense. This is what I'm saying. This is women who took on an ideology and they're not using intelligence and smarts, because intelligence tells you not to go down a certain road. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly,
roads are dead
exactly.
end. So that makes sense. So here's the cheat code, and this is what I
Yeah,
tell
it
people
is.
all the time. Here's the cheat code, fellas. If you want to have it both ways, the pretty woman have it either or. Get power. Get your money up.
It's easy that
You know what I
point.
mean? That's where
True.
that's where you
Yeah,
have
true.
what you want, man. You know what I mean? You can have a bimbo around when you caked up. You know what I mean? And she's maybe in your
I still
rotation.
can't. Nah, I can't, Jay, I can't even rock
I'm
this
saying,
out, bro. I can't even rock this out.
I'm saying, if you're not a married dude, I'm talking about. Let's take platinum. Platinum sitting on 100 million. Just platinum, way he is at 100 million, he gonna have a rotation. All right, he can have a rotation. At that point, he can afford to have a dumb chick around him.
Shit.
But
Nah,
Jay
man.
Sean,
No
look at
liabilities around me.
the
ever.
only thing with that is look at professional athletes.
No, but what you do is you got 100 million. You hire what's that dude that was with that's that group called The Time, and you had Morris Day. What's the Jerome?
Jerome.
And what did Jerome do?
yeah.
You just keep
You know what I mean?
walking around with a damn mirror.
No. And that chick jumped out of the alley and started cussing Morris Day out. What did Jerome do? Jerome body slammed right in that dumpster. That's what you can do when you got 100 million.
But Jay, let's be real. Let's be real, right? We ain't talking 100 mil here, right?
But no. My point is, even if you are talking 100 mil, look at some of these professional athletes and look at the dumb women that they've had around them. They knocked them up, child support, all sorts of other crazy stuff, and this dude is broke.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like, look. No. See, for me, it's like this, dude. Like, I'm not gonna hold liabilities around me, man. Like, just like willingly. Okay, there's certain things in business, right, that are already on the ledger sheet as a liability already. Okay, now what I don't do is look at a person and go, "Oh, you're a liability, but you're pretty." Come on. Fuck that. What, dude? Like, you know, like how many athletes?
I'm not telling
They
you.
were they had their millions stacked. They had them contracts. They
Yeah.
4 or 5 years out into retirement, dead
Complex,
broke.
you don't give the pretty bimbo the code to the safe. I'm not.
Don't matter. Well, no. That's the whole point. You just don't deal with a pretty bimbo, man. Just X that shit out the equation.
I feel you, Complex, and I'm with you. But I come from the hood, and sometimes
man.
a clean ratchet is all right.
Well, we trying to bring brothers up, man. That's
feel
that.
you.
I gotta be real with you. I gotta be real with you.
I was gonna say,
Hey,
Go ahead, Lex. You got it, man. What's going on, brother?
okay. What's going on, everybody? Peace to
Triple
the
X
family.
in the house. What's up, boss?
What's good?
Peace. Peace.
Complex. What up, everybody? What's up, Platinum? Hey, yeah. I was gonna say, to answer the brother's Platinum question I heard him pose earlier about, can two unintelligent people have an intelligent offspring? I mean, the answer to that is yes. I mean,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, we see that all the time, where somebody come from the gutter and make it to Yale Law or make it to Harvard, and they turn out to do great things. Some people come from the gutter, So it's possible, but to Complex's point, I mean, generally, and as a whole, the bulk of those people come from good to great families.
Okay, well hold on. Let's deal with the situation we have right here in the public eye.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, right?
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
his not his biological daughter, his adopted daughter from his wife that he married,
Yeah.
right?
Lori, right.
Okay. Would you say Lori is because I looked around, I don't think she went to college.
Okay.
Would you say Lori is a dumb chick or a no? Okay, man. Is she a beautiful chick or is she a intelligent chick?
I don't who
I,
I don't
I
know who
mean,
is she.
I
Lori
don't,
Harvey.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. She's obviously beautiful. Nobody can say she ain't
Gorgeous.
beautiful. No,
Okay.
no man will probably rank her below an 8. So
Okay.
let's get that out the way. That said, I haven't conversed with her to know if there's any level of intelligence there. She could be a big airhead, or it could be some level of intelligence there, or a pretty good level of intelligence. Just because she ain't got the education, like you guys mentioned earlier, the education ain't necessarily a guarantee of intelligence. A lot of
No,
those,
it's education.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of those videos you guys were just talking about by that content creator, a lot of those girls are
They all have degrees.
Yeah, they all
And
have
they all make a
degrees.
lot of money, and they're all
Yep.
stupid as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, that was only being used just for a general conversation.
Okay,
That
but
was the only point.
what I'm saying is, wait a minute, we got. I
I
can.
want to say this too. To Platinum's point though, I will say this, and Jay Sean just asked him, and Platinum answered it, and that was, are you looking for wifey or are you looking for something just to pass the time? You know what I'm saying? And Platinum said to pass the time. So we're looking at it from that perspective. If I'm out at the grocery store, I'm out somewhere and I got my full length mink on or whatever, and some woman has stepped to me and she fine, I gotta see what's up with that. You know?
Okay.
Now she could turn out to not be the most unintelligent girl in the world. And if she is, I know how to interact with that girl, like Jay Sean was talking about earlier. I know how to interact with her. I know not to take her seriously, and she wouldn't be getting any safe codes or no house keys or no Porsche keys or nothing like that. But I know how to interact with that girl, you know?
I mean,
got you.
I'm like this, dude. I know how to interact with them too, right?
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that
Peace,
like
Mike
often,
Ship.
say that again.
I was saying Mike Ship, peace. He was in the chat. Salute me.
Oh, okay, Mike. What's going on, man? You know, it's like this, dude. I already go off of. Look, it's certain. Man, look, we ain't going there. Let's just put it like that, off rip, nigga. I got standards, goddamn it. We ain't doing it. Okay, so it's just not gonna happen.
Hey,
Man.
Complex, let me say this. Let me say something real quick. Let me say something real quick.
Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, so I worked in government and contracting the government in DC for 20 years. And I was at a point where I was like complex. You know what I mean? You know, I'm around all these nightclub chicks, and then I'm also around these professional women all the time. So I wasn't dealing with no street girls at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then, I started realizing, and not just black women, even just across some of the other, races, these girls are just as trifling, and it's ratchet, you know what I mean?
Man.
You know what I mean? So, to me, it was all about presentation. So it's about where I was at. So to me, it's like clothes, man. Whatever I'm in the mood for. You know what I mean? And that's where it got to me. I was like, whatever I'm in the mood for, Complex would say no. Me, I'm not turning down a clean ratchet. You know what I mean? If I ain't got
you know what?
If I ain't got nothing else to do, Complex, I got nothing else to do. I'm a hood nigga. I can go there. You know what I mean? But I'm
Hold on.
Hey, you got it, bro. You got it.
That's all you know.
Shit.
What's amazing to me, is I grew up in the hood, but from a lot of the conversations or the personalities in this space, a lot of these guys, are way more hooder or whatever than me. So I often feel that I'm unfairly, called these, say things are said about me. It's not even true. And the people who are saying it, they're way more hood than I am. Like, okay, I've never sold dope. I certainly never been shot. All my family's professional, white collar. I'm not white collar. Okay, I'm blue collar, right? Nobody in the fam's ever been to jail. Both parents, 2-parent household. Where is the There's nothing really ghetto or hood about me. I mean, I understand it. I've been around it. I got cousins. I got family. I know it. I understand it. But it's a lot of dudes that are reformed pookies, and they have some type of assessment of me that I just disagree with. I don't know where it's coming from.
Who
I
are
see your
these
point.
reform pookies you talking about?
I think a lot of guys.
I think a lot of guys have an issue with me.
Wait, there's an echo.
There's
reformed pookies.
reformed pookies.
Wait, hold on. 1 second. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
I think guys who have a negative assessment of me are reformed pookies. Guys who are struggling with their own selves, their own issues, and because they had to go through some type of metamorphosis to change, they hear what I say and they struggle with the fact that I conquered my demon. I don't have a problem. I can deal with a ratchet chick, and I know when to drop her off.
Yeah.
Well,
I never had a bitch put me on
confused
papers.
by who's like.
That's
Never-
that
wait a
shit has
minute.
the hourglass on it. Yeah.
Okay,
Turn
wait a
that
minute.
hourglass
Never
on
had it.
and
Wait a
have
minute.
fun.
Never had a bitch put me on paperwork. I got to go fuck. I got to go down to court. I know niggas who they literally lived at family court. They were always down there.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
crazy.
So I'm just saying, it's just how you navigate it. Now, do I promote any man making fucked up decisions? No, I don't promote that. But we are grown people. We're grown people. So
We're grown
we have to-
people. I mean, yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah, well, we also have to take out. But one time, look, man, look. You got to learn from your mistakes, man. Sometimes, hey, you're a hard head. You know, my mom used to say that hard head make a sound behind. People gonna make mistakes.
People
So,
make,
like
the reason why people make mistakes oftentimes is because they didn't have like information that would have given them the ability to make better decisions, right? Okay. So what one may want to do is better inform themselves so that they make better decisions as opposed to taking the hard-headed approach, because that's something that Black culture does pretty much as an aggregate for the most part. Okay, and we see the results of this, because the results of it is largely what the subject matter in the Black manosphere is about. Okay, so it's not as if it's not like a chicken or egg scenario. Everybody knows what's going on, right? But everybody's like, but hey, I'm gonna get out here and do as I do, and if I just so happen to contribute to the issue that keeps the cycle going, well, that's cool, but at least what I'll do to help things out is talk about it.
Yeah. And you know what I would say though, on top of that, just to be clear the air, don't do what I say. Don't do what I do. All right. I have a certain level of discipline that a lot of men don't have. You know what I mean? And I noticed that about some of our brothers. A lot of our brothers are missing that discipline. And where we put our seed, you know what I mean? Who we attach ourselves to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a certain way we got to work through life. See, my motto is, if you ever listen to anything I ever said, at the end, usually I would say something like, business is life and life is business. My grandfather taught me a long time ago how to be a professional in life. And when I started seeing people for what they are, you know what I mean? And what is that? People do what they can get away with. Most people. Okay. That's just the nature of humanity, right? So when I'm dealing with people, whether it's a man or female, with any capacity that I'm dealing with them in, I'm dealing with them with a business mindset. What do I want in the situation? Get that and get out. You know what I mean?
No, I got you. Okay.
And I'm not doing no BP or spills neither. We didn't spill enough.
I hear you, brother. Now,
hey,
look, okay.
Oh, hey, Platinum, I just want to welcome. Let's see, we got Bella.
We killed dragons and Bellagino.
No.
What up? Truth is, I know it. What's going on, you guys? I just want to welcome you guys on the panel. How you guys doing?
All right. Good evening, fellas.
Good. Wait, hold on. I want to let Platinum finish here. I just wanted to welcome you guys.
I was going to make this statement right here. I don't know how much you guys keep up with pop culture. And it's very, very, very possible if you don't like Future, you don't really know what he's doing other than his music, right? Now, currently he has 8 baby mamas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and he was recently with this Lori Harvey chick or whatever, and he's dating some big IG model or at his mansion or whatever, and it's all on his IG. But we assessed Future as a thirst bucket. And we told guys, you don't want to do like that. You know, you don't want to be out there just all sloppy like that, mashing on these women right here. But he's got to get out of jail card because he's rich. So his money's gonna keep him out of jail.
How long is he gonna be rich?
Right.
A lot of baby
Operating like that.
But he's only paying like $2,000. I mean, he's 40. He's worth 40 mil. So
We've
he's
seen
really
plenty.
He's not gonna go broke.
You play attention to sports, and you know how many guys have gone broke with 100 mil.
Exactly. They got documentaries on it.
Did you just hear about Adrian Peterson?
But hold on, this was my point. But this was my point. Even with his past, what does that say about black women? He's still on the table.
Wait.
They look at him as a catch. No, I was like, can you believe this? He's got 8 baby mamas, but he's got money. He can rap or whatever. You know, he's got the braids. He's a drug addict. Most of his songs Percocet. He's just drug music, drug rap.
They're not exactly the smartest women, are they?
No, they're not.
Well, you can say that, but I'm just saying that doesn't. But I'm saying they can't deny that because look at the women. It's not like he's dating what you said, ratchets. I mean, he's dating the top tier bitches like Lori Harvey.
Top tier in what way?
Lori Harvey, the socialite, Lori Harvey.
Wait a minute. Wait. I asked you about intelligence. Where's their sign of intelligence if they're dealing with him and he's got how many baby mamas?
8.
How smart are they?
Well, I mean, you can say that, but what I'm saying.
It's a question. I mean, like, Platinum. Hold on.
My point,
this is an observable question. In your opinion, how smart? How smart? You're gauging the intelligence.
We got to get into definition because I don't think that's a wise decision. But I'm saying we're talking about.
So wait.
My point was, wait a minute. My point was this about Future. He's still on the table with black women.
Fine.
Why?
I'm talking
because
about the
they all
women and their intelligence. Are any of the women that are dealing with him, given the fact that he's got 8 baby mamas, would you say that any of these women are exhibiting any kind of intelligence whatsoever?
I'm more focused on the ego of the women who
I'm focused on the intelligence. I'm asking you a simple question. In your observable mind, do you observe these women?
Be honest with you. I really not
intelligence at all.
I'm really not so much trying to just piss on the sisters.
You don't have
like
to piss
that.
on them. I'm saying as an observation, man. Come on. Do you think that these women are smart? Let's get to it. Are they dumb to you?
When it comes to
would you let your daughter?
Wait a minute.
Would you let your daughter deal with Future, given that he's on baby mama number 8?
When it comes to rich men, I would agree that they're not very smart. If there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, they tend to whatever. A lot of stuff gets thrown out a window, and they do play themselves.
Right.
Well, I was going to say also, when you called those women top tier.
Pull it out of you, jeez.
No. I was going to say when you called those women top tier, though, that may be in question as well, because a top tier woman is going to have a choice from men as well. So why is a top tier woman going to have to necessarily settle for a dude with 8 baby mamas if they're as top tier as we say?
Well,
because won't her natural counterpart be a top tier man?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Like, unlike with men, and it's a little different with women. And the thing is, and I noticed this too, like with John Mayer. You know, he's a big asshole, but he dated a lot of hot women, white women, and they kept complaining. Taylor Swift, Jessica Simpson, all these chicks when they was in their prime too, and they was going at him heavy, and they all end up complaining about him. But the next one will run right over there, and these girls could get anybody. They got money and they fine. But once a guy has established, he's rich and famous, and he's established himself as being one that always deal with bad bitches gonna always want to go see what's up with this dude. Because there's so many bad bitches going at him. The same, to a lesser degree, Joe Budden too. You know? Yeah, he's had a lot of bad chicks, and he never was super popular or had big money. But once he got that reputation of having a bad chick, that's a good thing to see what's up with it. That's
a great example. What I was talking about earlier about having the pretty women, the bad chicks but they weren't intelligent women because all those women he dealt with devolved to what? Emotional nonsense.
Fucking
Emotional
problems.
Exactly. Exactly right,
yeah,
Jay
you know what I
Sean.
mean? Wilding the
Yeah.
hell out, yeah. So you know,
Problems.
He was
yeah,
spazzing.
he had to learn the
He
hard
was
way.
When you
spazzing.
guys watch those reality shows, the Basketball Wives, the hip hop, right? It be
Black
all
Ink
these
Crew
modeled
and
up,
Black Ink Crew.
dolled up,
Yeah,
makeup, weave,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
got the trashiest fucking attitudes. Okay,
yeah.
ain't none of these chicks got like some like natural feminine intelligence getting on
I give you
reality
example.
TV, pulling like
I give you
putting on
example. Black
Vaseline
Ink Crew.
and ear rings out, fighting and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
No,
like in Black Ink Crew with the tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I agree
Come on, man. It's like, dude, how y'all looking at these
I heard you
chicks
say
out
it,
here,
man.
man?
yeah.
You wrong for that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
That's on both shows, but yeah, I see it all the time.
Yeah, all the time, man.
yeah, Complex, you're right about that though, but the women don't apply the logic to men like that though, man. That's just not how a lot of women think. You know,
But
you're
that's the
right
reason
though.
why I don't.
Looking
That's
at
why I
it
don't. But
from a man's
Lex, this.
logical standpoint, you're right though.
Well, I was gonna say, but Lex, this is where I don't deal with a lot of women.
I got you.
Dude, I've said this. I'll be like, look, dude, I ain't for every chick,
Right.
but I know all them. I know a lot of chicks ain't for me either because I cannot deal with that bullshit.
Right.
I mean, can I put y'all on game? You know, another thing I want to add, you know, to what y'all talking about right now, those same women, to a lot of other women, they seem like they winning. I heard some women out here talk about hoes are winning because they're enamored with shiny things. The truth of the matter is, intelligent women think long term, and you know,
Exactly.
a lot of them are caught up in the now, and they don't end up in the right place. You know what I mean? They end up getting ran through. They're gonna get old. They're gonna hit the wall, and there's gonna be a new version of them out in 5 years. So you know,
Facts.
you know, so I would say intelligent women get away from your emotion. This is why they give you window shopping. That's pulling on your emotions. You got to be intelligent because if you're not intelligent, you're gonna go up in there and do what? Run up the credit card. That's why.
Yep.
That's why I will always lean to an intelligent female. She's who's gonna stop and think. You know what I mean? She's a woman that's
Yep.
gonna stop and think because if I attach myself to her and she's not intelligent enough, you know, to think past her emotions or her primal desires, she's gonna put me in a bad situation.
You gotta exhibit.
yeah,
You gotta
'cause,
exhibit the ability to be able to do that shit before we get anywhere.
Because I was going to say, Jay Sean, at some point you're going to have to entrust her with something.
Right?
Be it watching your house,
Mhm.
you know, giving you the keys to the house, keys to the car, whatever. At some point you have to trust
for a
this
couple hours.
shit. Yeah.
Right. You can't have a kid. You can't have a main chick or a permanent situation in your home. You're gonna have to share something with her at some point, man. So for me, I need intelligence. I need somebody I know that thinks. I like, all right, this sister thinks. She got a head on her shoulders.
Hey, Complex, I got a quick question, and then I give it back to Jay Shine. Hey, I wanted to know, what is your thought on this? Like Sheryl Sandberg, who's the CEO of Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, and most would agree she's an intelligent woman from hearing her speak and interact. She told women, younger women, date the bad boys, chase the bad boys and the Pookies and Ray Rays, and then when you get a little older, you know, then get with a solid guy, and you will see, you know, get with an educated, well-to-do guy, and then you will see that nothing's sexier than that. But she encouraged them to do that, and she's an intellectual woman. So, what would be your perspective on that?
I don't know if she's. I mean, what makes her intellectual?
I mean, well, listen. I'm gonna say this.
No. I mean, no. The reason why I asked that. The reason why I asked that is because she's a tech CEO. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily make her an intellectual. One, two. She's also a feminist.
You don't think she's
Exactly.
a type of intelligence?
Exactly.
Wait.
That's the big thing you hit on right there. She's a feminist.
No. She's a feminist.
She's a feminist.
So
Yeah.
Let's start there.
she's not
Let's start
intelligent?
there. She's
She's
a
a stark
feminist.
feminist. Yeah.
Wait, we'll start there. So, as a feminist, of course, she's gonna say that shit.
Therefore, she's not intelligent?
Right.
No. She's a feminist.
That disqualify her from being intelligent.
No, she can.
If
She
I had to
can
make-
be.
I don't-
No, what
No,
I'm
she-
saying is that I don't date feminists.
Okay.
Why are you
can-
asking me
can-
about a feminist?
He's
Can I
saying
just-
he's saying essentially her viewpoint is shaped by. No, her viewpoint is shaped by the fact that she's a feminist. That's why she made that comment, not the fact that she's intelligent.
Right. She's a
She's
feminist.
not intelligent at all. She's just a
Yeah,
feminist.
Whatever
can I
the
chime in
case,
real
dude.
quick?
Like, let's start there. Feminist women have no position in this conversation. Let's just do that.
Exactly.
We can weed.
Well,
That's the beauty of it. We can weed a lot of shit out.
Go ahead, Complex.
No. Go ahead. I think it was.
No, it's Gino.
Yeah, Gino. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's very interesting that we turn on this point. I like the fact the brother brought up. What's that? The CEO of Facebook. But here's the thing, though, right? In this space that we're in, or we've been around or whatnot, there is the talk of the red pill and things of that nature, and there's the big talk of female nature. In this conversation that we're having as far as intelligence versus beauty, blah blah blah, I will be honest that I didn't hear Platinum Elite's stream, so I don't really have a pulse on what his position exactly is. But let's be honest, as men, right? As men, when we approach a woman, we do like to talk about female nature, but I do think there is a piece of male nature in us. None of us go to a function and look at a girl over there and be like, damn, that girl is intelligent just by looking at her.
Dude,
None of us
said
work that
that,
way.
man. No one said that. And this is
What-
the
what-
problem
what-
that I'm having with people who take that position with this conversation. It's like you come in and it's like, look, even the engineering Canada is like, this is why I left this sector. Okay,
It's so
listen,
binary.
listen,
Yeah.
man, listen. The reality
Yeah,
is,
you
right?
binary approach
The,
to it.
the reality is that you can have both.
Exactly.
Okay. So that we'll start there.
We already established that, actually.
That's what I mean.
We already established it. Yeah.
Right,
Go ahead.
this ain't about red pill. It's not about none of the stuff that gets talked about in the other areas of the manosphere. Okay, this is like sapiosexualism as a concept is saying that look, we operate on an intelligence plane, regardless of what you're doing in life. Okay, even with your interpersonal interactions with people.
Were you okay? See,
But-
look.
But
You said we. Hold up. That
Well,
term,
this is
that
brain
term-
trust
that-
over here, Platinum.
I got. But all you guys are like that. All you guys are attracted
Pretty
to
much, yeah.
intelligent women.
Yeah.
I'm saying the more intelligent she is, the more the attraction. Because that's the way it's presented as
yeah,
the
that's
allure of that
No,
woman.
what we're
Oh,
saying,
she's-
no.
she's-
Okay. Look. Let's do this again. You take the same chick. Let's say you take the same woman. Matter of fact, the woman that's in the thumbnail of this video. Okay, you take her and you clone her. So there's two that look exactly the same. One's as dumb as a box of rocks. The other one's pretty intelligent. Simply put, I'm choosing the intelligent one.
And you find yourself. I'm talking about you're just simply more attracted to the intelligent one.
It's just intelligence is more than just a virtue, Platinum. It's a
It- it-
requirement.
But
You-
the-
you know, you-
see,
you-
see,
Why,
right there
Platinum?
when you do that. See, no,
Complex, why though? Why do you choose an intelligent woman? What is it about that?
Well, I'm not compatible with a dumb one. Let's start there. It's the
I mean,
compatibility.
I'll add two. In the sense, I think for me personally, I'm gonna have more that I can relate and have a conversation, and just if you're looking at a relationship like that, there's much more for us to build with. Like
Exactly.
you're
You
gonna
got to
be more
be
on board.
related to that person. Yeah.
You're gonna be more on board with where I want to go in life. I feel like.
Complex. I think that's everybody. I think that's every man. But it seemed like the way you guys were coming at Platinum, as if Platinum is saying that intelligence is not a factor at all. It's just for some people that the priority, like you guys were saying, oh, therefore you only like beauty, therefore you don't like intelligence. That's the way you guys were coming at him, as if he's
No, actually,
excluding-
Gino's the other way around.
No, it's not.
That's the whole
my
reason why
point.
we have
It's the other way
this.
around.
No,
It's the other way around.
It's the other way
not.
around.
No, I didn't.
Wait,
I
wait.
simply no.
But Platinum,
that's-
can't you agree in this space? You have heard men say specifically they don't care anything about a woman's intelligence.
He
just
does.
what they look
The
like.
people on his
You
panel,
may not,
on his
but
live
people have said
either.
that. Not
That's
just on his
facts. That's
panel.
true.
They said it
They
on
don't
other
care
panels.
about intelligence.
I've heard
A lot
men
of people say that.
I'm
He
here
didn't
now.
say that a lot.
I hear you guys. No. I was examining the position of a man who's becomes he's attracted to this woman. There's a mutual attraction, and within the dating dynamic or the the early stages, he becomes more aroused because it's based on sexual. He becomes more sexually aroused. The more how intelligent she is, the more he learns about her, and she's smart and I'm just now for me, I'm just gonna tell you, I have not become sexually aroused by an intelligent woman. Now I'm not gonna say I have a problem with it, but I'm more sexually aroused with her appearance and shit like that. Now if a woman is dumb, I don't get aroused by that either. So I'm this you guys are what sapiosexuals, right?
Well, wait. You said you don't need intelligence in a woman. You said that like about 30, 45 minutes ago.
He's not attracted to it.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with my attraction to her. No, it's not attraction.
He wants
sexual.
He's saying sexual. He's sexually. He's attracted. He's connecting with the booty.
Okay,
Has there been a woman who started off and you were like, she ain't that hot, but then the more you got to know her, the more attractive she got.
Exactly.
Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah, I become attracted to her. But hold up. This sapiosexuality means a person is sexually attracted to a highly intelligent people.
Okay, but that does not mean that that intelligent person is ugly.
Wait a minute, the term said so much that they consider it to be the most important trait in a partner. Now
it is.
You guys
realize
define
that
yourself that way,
does
right?
not have to be ugly, though. You do realize that, right?
I'm not saying that she is. I'm just simply saying that term says a man who it says the most important trait.
Of course.
So
yes.
No, for me, no. I'm not that. I'm saying you guys are.
Look, we have to dispel this notion that just because I require intelligence in a woman, that does not mean, right, that she's not attractive. That's the part that those who don't quite understand, they think that, so that means that if you like intelligent women, you don't like these bad bees. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal, right? I like both.
Also the other way too. If you like beautiful women, that doesn't mean you do not like intelligence.
No, but the reason we were having that discussion is because people have said that specifically, Billy.
We know
they have said we don't care about intelligence. We only want beauty.
Right.
That's what we went for.
No. Let's listen. The point is, like the guy says, when he goes out to Miami Beach or whatever, South Beach, you're looking at the women, they're in the bikinis and stuff. It's like you're looking at beauty. You look at, very nice women. Now, you might meet one that's a lawyer. You might meet one that's a school teacher. You might be one that works at Popeyes.
Their professions don't have anything to do with their intelligence, though.
Because
there
you go. You're right.
Okay. Right. See, so intelligence is something that's it's a characteristic or a trait that you actually are going to have to engage with the other person to draw it out to see if it actually exists. What's going on, Art?
What's going on, y'all? Complex. I was going to summarize this. Johnny Blaze said, "An attractive face will get my attention, but it won't keep me." Meaning, there's got to be more to it than just she's pretty.
That's why when I came on, I asked Platinum explicitly, are we talking about something to do or we talking about wifey? Because it's all about intent, right?
Levels.
So, yeah. If I meet a chick that I'm attracted to, and my scale, usually starts at 5. You know what I mean? Because you got cute women and then you got stunningly beautiful women, right?
Yeah.
And I look for different things. We all are different. We attack different things. Platinum might be a butt guy.
Wifey.
Yeah, complex. She might be a breast guy. Me, I look at a woman's. What attracts me to a woman right off the bat is her posture. You know what I mean? Then her face. Yeah. You know what I mean? But her posture, because her posture tells me a lot about her. Her posture is uniquely who she is, and so that's what attracts me to a woman first. I see a woman with a nice walk and a nice way about herself. She walks a certain way. She stands a certain way. Now I'm like, who's that? And then I look at her face. She's cute. I'm like, okay, I gotta know that. Now I gotta go meet shorty. You know what I mean? Now but the thing is, what's my intent? If I'm just if I'm only in town for the night, or if I'm looking for, somebody, to get to know. You know what I mean? Now, if I'm trying to get to know her and, and take it to somewhere else, then yeah, she gotta have intelligence. If I go sit down and talk to her and she's an idiot, man, I'm like,
Before y'all jump in, let a brother jump in. I'm new here, okay?
What's going on, Art?
Art is
Art
here, but let
jump
me
in.
keep speaking. All right, what's going on, fellas?
what's up?
Good, good. You good?
What's up, Art? You
Yes,
good?
sir. Yes, sir. Have y'all heard the song I love you just the way you are" by Billy Joel?
Yeah. I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all really listened to the words?
I haven't listened to that song in a long time.
Damn, Grandpa.
I'm paraphrasing some of the stuff he said don't give me conversation to please me. You never been this way before. All these different things. What I'm really bringing up is that there's certain ways how we look at intelligence. Because the way I break it down, it took me a while, but how I break it down is that you got feminine intelligence, you got masculine intelligence.
Yep.
You have a lot of women that try to portray masculine intelligence,
Yep.
and that's why we
Exactly.
get these little frictions and things like that. So, for example, an intelligent woman would know her place,
Yep.
Yep.
especially in the feminine part. So that's the part that I look at. If she's feminine, if she's intelligent in her femininity, then you sold me. We good.
Well, hey, Art, let me do that. On the heels of you
Intelligent
saying
and
that.
masculine,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that means that we're going to be fighting. Because I'm not going to give up. Hello,
Yeah. No, yeah.
you
You had
good?
cut out a little bit. We can hear you though. Go ahead.
am I boring?
You were just a little
Okay,
A
bit. We can
little
hear
I
you.
bit,
said
but you're
if she
fine.
has
You're
that,
fine.
yeah, because I'm near the beach.
Yeah,
So
you're good.
anyhow, I just wanted to say that real quickly. Is
I
that
got a question. I
I
got a
think
question
that
for everybody.
we have to break.
I got a question for
Oh well.
everybody.
Okay, go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
I got a question for everybody real quick. Matter of fact, Art, you can answer this question. Is Denzel's wife a 9 in the face?
No,
Is LeBron's wife a 9 in the face?
No.
no,
You see what I'm
False
saying? Is
objective.
Chris Paul's wife a 9 in the face?
no.
You see where I'm going with
No.
this, right? You see where I'm going with this,
hmm
Yeah.
right? All right, so
hmm
I just want to throw that out there. I'm throwing some real life situations with some ballers.
I see what you're
Well,
saying,
I
but
mean,
that is not ugly at all.
I just put the we just did a live stream on feminine intelligence last week. So I just posted
Yeah.
it in the chat there because
Oh, really?
Art just hit on it.
Yeah. We discussed
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, you just hit on it. Like, see, what I'm looking at is feminine intelligence. If you want to know what that is, check that live stream out,
Mhm.
Yeah, she
right?
has good
Because
judgment.
to me, this shit ain't a mystery. Art just hit on it. There's masculine intelligence, there's feminine intelligence. So when I say I'm looking for intelligence in a woman, I'm looking for the feminine expression of intelligence. How does she express her grace, her class, right? Her nurturing nature. She's a woman, right? Like does she just kind of her ovaries get all fluffy when she sees a little puppy or a kitty or babies or some shit like that? Okay, like does she have a genuinely nurturing spirit? That's kind of like the natural female disposition. If I'm not getting that, like a natural expression, an intelligent expression of that, it's a no-go. I'm getting what
Right,
Art was just talking about. I'm getting a chick who's trying to like get in her masculine frame to try and outthink me.
I
right. Because
consider
she's trying
myself
to take over.
a sapiosexual too. So, and when I evaluate
My
women,
brother
it
Truth.
has, yeah, it's
Hey,
true.
Truth, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's going on? So
Go
to
ahead.
me, it's highly important that she has that feminine energy, that she knows how to manipulate conversations and herself and decisions, based off that femininity. Because I think at the end of the day, for me, it's primal. It's not like, oh, like a trophy, like my my woman's got a PhD. My woman can do rocket science. It's not like that. It's more like if I want a family legacy for myself, I want a strong family. I want a two-parent home that lasts a minimum of 18 years till the kids leave the house and go off to one of these universities. But for a lifetime, if I'm going to pick a woman to be by my side for my life, she's going to have to be able to operate, behave a certain way. And I'm not always going to be perfect, She's got to be able to deal with that. She's not always going to be perfect. I got to be resolute in my masculinity and know how to deal with that. But if she can't play that dance, that intellectual dance, that unspoken dance with me, then it just won't work. And women who don't have intelligence, they're kind of ideologues. They got a one-track thinking. They can't think in a layered way.
Can I ask you
I
a
got to
question?
have that. And I found that it pays dividends. It pays huge dividends.
Can I ask you a quick question? As far as intelligence and dealing with a feminine women, you know, a lot of people talk about femininity and submission and things of that nature. How do you think those things, when you juxtapose intelligence and femininity, submission, and things of that nature, how do you see these things mashed together? Because usually when people talk of these kind of things as far as submissions and, you know, shit like that in these space, seems like they're more making a stance against a smart woman, against a woman who's even educated.
I take it the opposite. I look at a submissive woman as a highly intelligent woman. From my experience,
Exactly.
A submissive woman, she might not have a college degree. She might just be have a high school graduate, and she might work at a call center or something, right? But she can still have a certain intelligence about her where she makes great common sense decisions. Right? It's her decision making. It's if she wants the same thing that I want, then she knows that we're a team together and we need to work together, and she's gonna make good decisions for our plan that we have, that the shared vision that we have together. A woman who's not submissive, now what are you dealing with here? You're dealing with a woman who's going to be a little bit more combative, more aggressive with you. She's going to try to fight you on things. Well, how are we going to have a 40-year relationship like that? That's not going to work.
Wait, hold on. We got an echo here. Let me just fix that real quick. And then somebody, let's see here. Okay. Somebody just joined the panel here. Are you there?
They don't have a name or an avatar.
It says okay. Are you there? If you're not, I'm gonna drop you down.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. This is good. We got a woman.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Well, you know, it's funny that her name is okay, and then we all go okay.
I'm experiencing learning right now.
Yeah,
Wait.
so can I chime in real quick?
Wait, Jay Sean, I just want to. Okay, I'm sorry. Welcome to the panel. Are you long-time listener or? Okay, I'm not sure what just happened to this.
We can hear you. I'm okay.
You there?
She probably mute herself.
Oh, she's got a house going on.
Wait. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, Jay Sean, you got to go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to just say, to me, what I see in unintelligent women, they dart right to being overly sexual, because and they try to pawn that off as being feminine, and I don't see that as good femininity. Being sexually and raunchy is just being sexy and raunchy. To me, femininity is a woman who's intelligent enough to know her man. How does she know her man? She took time to learn her man. She knows when to talk, when not to talk. She knows when to give you a space, when not to give you a space. She knows how to dress in public. She knows how to walk. She knows how to. That's a feminine woman. That's a woman that's sitting in submission. You know what I mean? And she's cool with it. She's cool with being a woman.
Hello.
You know what I mean? So that to me is what femininity is.
Oh, she's back. She's back.
It's funny because I say okay, and then it's her. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. Sorry, it was the connection.
Okay, no, you're all good. Welcome to the panel. Apparently, I don't think I'm forever familiar with you. This kind of like your first time on this platform?
Yeah, first time.
Okay.
I just had a quick
what's
question.
your thoughts?
My thoughts is that for one of the guys, when he said how there's masculine and a feminine version.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand that. I would like for him to explain more on how do you know what traits are masculine and what traits are feminine.
Oh, you talking about Art, right?
Yeah, that was Art who asked.
That was Art. Yeah.
Okay, good timing because I'm back in the car.
Cool.
All right. So what we're dealing with, this conversation really deals with society norms. So a lot of people kind of like take on the attributes of what things are taught rather than things that are instinctive. So the fact that a man is in his masculinity and the way that he expresses himself, when you have a female that's doing the exact same thing, then there's a little friction right there because you're fighting for position, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's just
but
one example.
that's the intellectual part. You know, intellectual is not something you just sit down and you like that is a masculine quality. When you say that that's someone that something that you're attracted to, that is masculine, whether you
What makes it
like to
masculine to you,
admit that
ma'am?
or not.
What makes it masculine to you, ma'am?
Because when you display a certain type of intelligence, like you want to show it off. You want to show it off.
But do you know? Do you okay? Um,
I'm
okay.
lost
So
here.
I literally last week did a live stream on feminine intelligence. Okay. So you're talking about intellectualism as an exercise, right? Like, so for example, a debate over a certain topic, and what you want to do is display your intellectual prowess, and that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about.
If you're doing
I
over
got an
some,
example for you. I got an
Go
example.
ahead, you got it.
Remember that guy? They were at the grocery store. That black woman was like loading groceries in her car, and this old white dude, old rusty-looking white dude, got in her face and started harassing her. And then this black dude comes up and he's like, "Man, stop bugging this woman. Just go about your way. Stop accosting her." And the black dude pulls out a gun, and the white dude keeps talking mess. And the woman gets in between them and like instead of like recognizing homeboy got the gun, he's getting ready to shoot the white dude. If she was in her feminine intellectual capacity, if she was in her femininity, it'd have been a great decision. It'd been a logical, wise, common sense, feminine decision to take a step back and let the brother handle it because he's got the gun and she has none of the muscles and she don't have a gun. And to me, what I saw was a lot of I saw that masculinity there, and it was dumb. It was like you are acting really dumb, and I think that's the problem with when a woman is supposed to be feminine and she acts masculine, then you're causing a obvious natural disruption in the flow of this relationship. Now, when you're on the street corner, in the grocery store, it can get you shot right there. And if you're in a relationship, it can cause divorce and infidelity and all types of issues.
Truth, I was going to say quickly on that point you made. The similar incident that comes to mind was the lady in Dallas who had her car blocking. It was like 2 a.m, and this guy was like a bouncer or something at a nightclub. And he was trying to leave, and he pulls out a gun, and she refuses to move her car and still keeps jawing for her. And I think he eventually punches her in the face. Luckily,
She hit him while he had the gun.
Yeah,
but let's ask the sister this though. Are you trying to say that there is no difference in masculine and feminine intelligence? Is that your position?
I think when you guys are talking about femininity, that's not intelligence. I see it more of like just playing a game, using your femininity to make sure to keep yourself out of harm. The way that you guys say it, I understand, but I don't think it's intelligence. I think it's just finding a different way to get men to do certain things for you.
No, what I want you to do is I want you to actually it's episode, let me pull it up. Episode 627, right? So if you go into the Brain Trust archives, we did this live stream on it was like a little over a week ago. It was January 11th, so like 2 weeks.
I was going to give you a quick example, Complex. Like from my reading, intuition is considered like a form of feminine intelligence. And
Right.
really, it's seeing patterns. Oh, really, it's nothing like a gut. It's seeing patterns over time and being able to do that. And women, that tends to be more of a female type thing of intuition.
Women use their intelligence
okay, yeah. Yes, I see.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
No, I
what
was
he's
saying
saying
that
with
they use their intelligence during pregnancy as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so when women are, because I noticed that happened with my wife when she was pregnant, man. Like her clairvoyance and that shit was off the charts, right? It was there was a different, and that was what should I just call you? Okay, because I don't want to call you okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, but that's kind of
Did it
what
again.
I know. I just did it right. So it's its own built-in joke. But that is what is being discussed in terms of feminine intelligence. Like I said, there's a man in his masculine frame, because Dollar will hit on it. Intelligence in and of itself is gender neutral. However, as a male, there's a masculine way I express it. As a woman, there's a feminine way you express it. Or you can choose to express it in a masculine way, as can men can also choose to express it in a feminine way. But I think that's when we will all agree that shit tends to be off when that happens, right? So, as a dude who fully expresses intelligence in his masculine frame, I'm going to only accept the opposite in my counterpart, right? So now I'm looking at your intuitiveness. I'm looking at grace. I'm looking at nurturing. I'm looking at all of these different things that women do intelligently, right? Because that's their natural. Well, it's supposed to be their natural disposition. It's supposed to be. Whether they do it or not, well, that's for those of us men to be able to observe and recognize whether they do or don't express it.
And the thing too, to add on, is that most of the
Okay,
intelligence from the men, we have to, we get trained. You know, we go to school, those type of things. A lot of the intelligence that women have is instinctive, and so the thing is that you start adding layers like judgment, timing, decision making, all those different things play a part, because what we're talking about, how the puzzles fit, not just existing as your own person, but how these fit between man and women. Because a man's intelligence and a man's intelligence on a woman in a relationship, most of the time it just doesn't work. It doesn't. There's always a friction. There's always a
right.
battle. You
And
see what
if
I'm
it
saying?
doesn't
Yeah,
work, it's unintelligent.
it's
I was going to
understood.
even
Like
say,
opposites attract, but I'm going to leave so
No,
that
you're good.
anybody
You're
else
good.
can have a chance
No,
to get
you
up
you
here.
no,
No, but
you
I have to
good.
Yeah.
go actually. I
Yeah,
Oh,
have
no,
to
but I
okay.
go.
appreciate you for
But I
coming up.
You're more than
understand that
welcome.
like opposites attract. Masculine attracts feminine. Feminine attracts
Mhm.
masculine. Like that's a given,
Yeah.
you know? But thank you
It's
Well,
for having
almost a
me.
rule.
before you go,
No,
It's
can I
no
ask
almost
you
a
worries.
rule. Go ahead.
can I
Well, hold on,
can I
because
ask you
she's
a
about to
question?
step off. So I want to just say, thank you for coming on up, and you're more than welcome to join us every time. This is this is Manosphere 3.0. So it's like if we're all contributing intelligence, you're more than welcome to chime in on the
and
conversation.
I think
Okay.
Platinum wanted to ask her something really quickly.
Oh, okay.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Platinum.
Are you an intelligent woman or are you a beautiful woman?
I'm more of like an intuitive woman. I'm an INFJ. I'm someone that believes in I go really deep into people's psychology. I wouldn't say that I'm intelligent at all, but I can I can see through people and their actions.
You,
Are
you're
I
you
can
attracted
empath.
tell
more?
when
Are you
someone
attracted more?
You're empath. You're an
Well,
empath. You
well,
can
just
feel
so
them.
you guys, she says she's an
I'm more of an
INFJ. That's the
empath,
Briggs
Yeah.
more of
Myers.
like a mystic.
Yeah, that's
I'm
like a
more of a
Briggs
mystic
Mystic.
Myers
type.
personality.
I was going to
See,
say, I think she's just the fact that she
Please
gave
check
that
your
out
mute.
kind of says that,
Right.
she
Yeah.
has some level
Yeah,
of
I was gonna
intelligence.
ask her a
'Cause
question real
My
quick. I was
wife is
gonna
an
ask her,
INFJ.
sister, are you attracted more to intelligence or looks?
Looks don't do nothing for me. I don't like looks doesn't matter. Like I told you, I can see through people. Looks
Mhm.
are, I guess,
Yeah,
not. I
she's
don't care
INFJ.
much about it. So what society tells me I should like, I go against what society wants me. So I don't see muscular
mm,
men as attractive to me. I find
mm.
thinner men
Wow.
more attractive. But it's more of some like it's hard to
Well,
explain. What is it?
Lex, Lex is
So she
really
You're
just,
good.
you
No,
know
no,
what she
no,
just
no.
talked about?
You're
No,
actually
she's good.
explaining it
She's
right.
good.
You're
She's
actually
good.
explaining it right.
okay. Okay. I just want
That
to know
was
if if
she just displayed feminine
There, I was
independence.
gonna say she just did it. That was it.
yeah, yeah. But I'm saying,
That's it. It's all good.
what if a guy flat out tells you, I don't care anything about that bullshit you talking about. You can sense shit. Look, I just need you to be my woman. All right, I don't even want to talk about shit like this.
Oh, then that is like no, because to me is you have to respect me. Even when it came to dating, I dated at a very late age because I didn't care. Like my main focus wasn't on boys. I was never like boy hungry or anything like that. Like to me, it was always let me focus on myself. Let me focus on my mental state, and
She
then I
said,
can
"Boy,
think about yeah, no, like girls been like that. But for me, I
yeah,
never saw a need. Like that's how I knew. I at first I thought there was something wrong with me because like I just wasn't attracted to boys at a certain age because they were just too immature. I felt like they didn't even know about themselves. They weren't looking within. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of insecure people. If you're insecure, I can't deal with you,
okay,
right?
That's the
But
problem from
but the thing that I wanted to talk about, like what Platinum just said, that is usually our normal reaction when a woman displays masculine intelligence or masculine energy on us. When they try to come and flex and do all kinds of things to where it's trying to cancel us out.
Oh,
So
oh
so that's
no,
the thing
flex for what?
that's
I
where he's.
don't.
I don't want to speak for him,
Yeah.
but I think that's what's normally the reaction when a guy says that to a woman.
Topaz says she's an ISTJ. Well,
That
INFJ.
that that's pretty.
Interesting.
Okay, no, I
Someone
was gonna say
said
that's
she
pretty
I'm
was
common for a
saying
M1.
woman.
that's you like
Come
them.
on,
ISTJ.
peanut butter.
You
Come
you
on
like
now.
But
you
she has
like
that
them like
feminine
that, right?
intelligence. It fits right in. Trust me.
I'm saying you like them like that complex, right?
Yeah.
What's
All
that?
Like I'm more relaxed.
mystical and complex and shit like.
I can't hear him. Platinum. What do you say?
Mystical is like
I know
more
I
it's
of like
said
a
controversial.
person that's
All right.
not religious.
platinum
Like
crazy.
I
no, I
date.
said complex like some all mystical and complexy and shit like that. Like you
I
I
will.
put
am
them
not dating
all
No, I think
complex.
he was talking
puzzle
to
box
me.
and all that shit.
I will say this
Well,
complex.
wait, well, wait a minute.
I
Wait.
do
What did you
find
say,
it
Platinum?
interesting that we've got a lot of eyes here, a lot of introverts.
Yeah, I know, right? They're all in the chat. They're popping up in there. No, Platinum. In case my wife was master degreed from University of Loyola. She was an early childhood educator. Uh, I won't even go there, but yeah,
I mean, the fact that she was an
she wasn't
educator.
your average type. Let's just put it like that.
Well, I was gonna say the fact that she was an educator. I mean, that tends to attract a pretty feminine woman in the sense of the patience to want to, not all the time, but wanting to deal with kids and mold
Kids.
them.
There you go.
I
Right.
I had a sapiosexual experience. Like I went on a date and I was like, wow, we really connect. So I tell this girl, I say, meet me at the park. So I'm at the park. She pulls up on this like one of these California, what do you call them, cruiser bikes almost, like an old school bicycle, wearing like a beautiful turquoise dress that looked like it cost hundreds of dollars, looking fantastic, in shape. We're sitting at the park bench. We're just talking. No alcohol, no coffee, no nothing. Just conversation. She tells me how she's reading this book about how they're running drugs from Mexico to Chicago, and these Mexican gangs, they didn't want to deal with niggas, excuse my French, because they didn't want to get robbed, shot, and deal with them type of problems. So they would deal with other demographics. And then the book went on to say that's partly why Black people didn't get caught up in this heroin opioid addiction. Right. And so she's going into this book and talking about this. And I'm like, this is my type of chick right here. I love this. And it was like she had the perfect package. She had well, she wasn't the hottest. She was not the hottest. A little thin for my taste. Maybe a little older than what I like, but when she spoke, when she talked about what her interests were, the way she presented herself, I said that she's a keeper. So then, I go to her house and I'm like, holy shit. Her house looks like my house. We lived one block, not even a block away. She lived in one apartment complex. I lived in the other apartment complex, and our apartments looked almost identical, very similar art on the wall. And she said the same thing I did. She goes, it's like we've known each other our whole lives. And we didn't know each other, but we connected on an intellectual level. And we're friends to this day. We never dated like that or anything. She liked probably a different type of guy, but like it was there for us, though. It was right there. And I think like it had nothing to do with her beauty. She just seemed like she was attractive enough, but it was so much more than that with her.
Yeah, I think you hit truth. I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about the intellectual connection. It's sort of like how you had services that where guys would get on the phone and talk to women and things like that. They connected them emotionally, and they never saw them, and that's why it was so popular back in the day.
Exactly. When I was younger, I like bimbos. I like easy. I like I like strippers and
what did you define it? What did you define as younger? Like when would you say you moved more into the phase
it
of
was like in her early 30s. I mean, she was no kids.
No. I mean his age.
That should sound like a starting lyric in a rap song. When I was young, I liked bimbos.
You guys,
That's what you were calling earlier, Sean. You called
No, truth. I meant that. What age were you when you sort of shifted away from? Okay, I need more than just a woman who's pretty.
Probably my late 20s. Because I got tired of just, you start running through women and you're like, it got dangerous. I felt like it was dangerous because I was thinking if I get one of these hood rats pregnant, man, I'm gonna have problems, man. I can't mess with her. This woman, she's cute. She wants to throw me the box, but she just doesn't have that level of sophistication. She doesn't have that class that I need. Who knows what she might do? I don't know what she might do. I have one girl,
go ahead.
They're dangerous. A lot of these women who aren't highly intellectual. I mean, even the smart ones can be dangerous. But if they're not that educated or they're not that intelligent, and then they're predatory and they're dangerous, this is what they do. You guys know this. A lot of these women, they're hypersexual. They rely on their beauty and they use that as a web, like a spider web, and they trap men. Yeah. And then you end up with some in child support court.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, but I think he took the words out of my mouth. I mean, when do you talk about the intelligence working against you rather than for you? How do you determine? Do you determine after the fights and the disagreements, or do you really try to gauge that stuff before it even happens, especially on something that's instinctive?
Ideally, before. That's where you got to kind of look at character. Got to figure that out. Like, what's this woman's character like? Is she, if things don't go her way, or if this doesn't work out, is she gonna know how to just say, okay, it didn't work out, and move on, or is she gonna try to destroy my life?
Yeah. Hey, can I ask this question though? Have you ever known a woman that was intelligent, right? There was some sort of intelligence there. Maybe she was your classmate or your coworker, whatever, your church member. But the beauty kept you from getting to know her or getting, going and access all that intelligence.
You said her beauty did what?
A girl, she's intelligent, she's smart, but the beauty for you is that wall. You're like, but there's a whole lot of intelligence behind that wall.
Well, I mean, are you attracted to her? That's the question. Are you attracted to her?
Is that one of the qualities? But you can't push through that wall.
Well, no. The question is, are you attracted to her?
Yes, you're attracted to the beauty.
You mean
wait. What's the problem?
How do you know she's intelligent? If she has a wall up, how do you know she's intelligent?
No.
I'm trying to figure out. Like, wait, what? Say it
Come
again.
on, Jano, now get out of there.
No. Maybe I misunderstood him. Say it again.
A wall. I don't mean a wall like a wall that's stopping you. Listen.
Okay.
This girl, she's intelligent. She's bright.
Through conversations.
Her looks is a problem for you.
She's too ugly.
Well, exactly. So you're not attracted to her then.
So you're not attracted to her. Yeah.
So you're not attracted to her.
See, the way it works for me is a woman's got to be, she got to be a certain level of have a certain beauty standard. If she doesn't meet my baseline beauty standard, I can't mess with her. But I'm not, just because she's a 9, I'm not gonna, if a 9 compared to a 7 for me, I'm gonna treat them exactly. They're like the same to me. If I could get the same intelligence in a 9, I'll take the 9. But I'm not gonna take a dumber chick, like a woman who's kind of dumb and dingy at a 9, over a woman who's a 7 or even a 6, who's actually really smart. I'm not gonna overvalue that
I
beauty.
think I think when he was asking and he's saying he had a 3 sitting in front of him, but she was smart.
Yeah,
Yeah, super smart. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was a,
but you're not attracted to her, so all she is smart to you.
So that brings us back to what we were talking about earlier as pertains to beauty versus intelligence.
That's why.
There's
That's,
no there's
no,
no
no, that's why.
versus.
That's why I brung up. That's why I brung up Denzel, LeBron, and other brothers like that. Cause they got pretty women, but they're not 9s or 10s. They nice looking women, but these women are very intelligent. They're very elegant. They're very feminine, and they real. You know what I mean? And that's why these brothers who are worth hundreds of millions of dollars are rocking with them. And the reason why that's important is because we all know they can go out there and get 9s and 10s.
Look,
We
at
know
that
they-
level, beauty is subjective. At that level, it's subjective. So the matter is,
let's say you have a Precious Neil deGrasse Tyson, a female version of Precious, but a brain of a Neil deGrasse Tyson.
no,
man,
don't
I mean,
introduce our conversation.
don't take the conversation
That's
there.
Don't do
equity,
that.
bro. Come on, man.
Shout out to
Don't do
the
that.
panel. Shout out to the panel. Appreciate you guys.
Peace,
Let me
Platinum.
come up. All right, y'all
Peace,
take
Platinum.
All right, Platinum, take it easy, bro.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
I gotta
you.
come over to
Later,
Platinum.
Platinum.
more,
Appreciate you, Platinum.
No,
Yeah,
man, that's the problem I have with like when you got to do that. I keep saying, are you attracted to her? We can answer that. Like we can solve. This is very easy. Are
You
you
know
attracted
what you
to
do?
her?
You know what you do to Gabby Sidibe that's real smart? You hire her.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I was going to say, Jay Sean, even
You
when
let her
you
work for you.
when you talk
Shit.
about that, think about it in the same way when you have men who have an affair and they get caught. They go back to their wife and leave this chick who is probably just attractive alone because it's like, hey, I got something more than just a pretty face with this woman.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Exactly right.
I can't build with a 9 or 10. That's an idiot. I can't do it.
No,
You know what I mean?
well, I
I
told
can't
you they're a liability and an expensive one.
Yeah. I mean, every chick doesn't have to be the most beautiful woman in the world, but they can be pretty. They could be, regular looking, nice looking women, clean, well put together.
Yeah,
got
bro,
pride,
I'm
know how
trying
to
to
put
figure
their
out
shoulders
why,
back.
Jay Sean, why is
Yeah.
it that brothers gotta go? It's like you either like at the stoplight or you mashing the gas.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you
What the fuck, bro?
I'm gonna tell you exactly what's happening, Complex. The same thing happening with the women that call in Kevin Samuels' channel was
Same
happening with us.
shit.
It's happening with us, right? See, now they over there
It's
looking
brilliant.
for they over there
hell?
looking for this top male, that can give them all the materialistic nonsense and trinkets that they want, and we want big booty Brenda. We do. I want a bad,
Thank you
want a
for
baddie.
saying that. I feel like we are shining away from some of this primal male
Man,
nature.
man, look, check it out. Like I said, man, this
Where's
your
Zero
first
at?
time on the Brain Trust, bro. Like we function on a higher level over here. Like so, we can't relate with that. I can control my dick, bro. I don't know about you.
That's not what I'm
Right.
talking
I'd almost reverse that complex and say like
That's
this
not
attraction to rubber butts and plastic
That's not
titties
what I'm
and fake eyelashes. That's almost going against evolution almost. It's like you're going off this fake shit to the detriment of your own family. You marry one of these women and get caught up, it's going to destroy your whole lineage.
I mean,
That's
you
true.
can keep reducing this if you want, right? Let me tell you like this. I've never moved like the things that you're saying. I never had to do, not even in my 20s. And see, in my 20s is when I got breaded up. And this is the reason why I keep kind of pushing this, especially to like younger brothers who are listening. I'm like, well, I spent my 20s practicing very strict, like, sex practices in terms of like who it was I was dealing with, right? Because I was dealing in music. It wasn't like there wasn't a bunch around. The problem I was having was that I always had this question that would pop into my head when, it was on the table. It's like, okay, let's just say in the event that something were to happen in terms of like, let's say a pregnancy or something, would I be okay mixing genetics with this person or no?
Right.
If the answer is yes, go ahead and proceed then. If it's no, under no fucking circumstances do you do it. And so because that was like the determinant factor that I would use in terms of engaging in sex, it kept me out of a lot of shit. And at the same time, I got my bread up because I wasn't getting engaged in a bunch of dumb shit, listening to my dick all the time. So
you.
this is all I'm trying to get brothers to do. And it's like every time I hear, but what about? And I'm like, okay, well, so what do you want to do here with your life?
That just goes back to a thing that's sort of lacking amongst some black men, and that's standards. Knowing that, hey,
Exactly.
None whatsoever. for a lot
or
of
seeing the
them.
big picture of, hey, this may be fun for the night, but there are going to be consequences that you have to deal with that are going to cost you a lot of money and might cost you 18 years of your
Of your
life
life. Yeah. Yeah.
and more. And some brothers don't choose to think about those things, and they haven't been taught to think about those things.
Right.
Yeah. They're programmed. Yeah.
And
So,
Gino, I gotta say, man, I'm looking at the comment, dude. Like, you must have came in. There's nothing wrong. I even sent Platinum's video to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Why can't you have both?" Go ahead, Ryle, you got it.
Right.
A complex
Peace. Peace.
piece of the channel.
peace, Rock.
Okay, I'm in my 40s. I'm pretty sure most of the guys up here in their 30s and the 40s. I'm assuming late 20s maybe. Has anybody ever turned down a butt naked chick with hips and ass, beauty, butt naked in their presence, and said, "Nah, I ain't gonna hit that"?
Only if it didn't smell right.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Dude. Well, wait a minute. I never had to turn it down because if it was there like that, it was supposed to be there like that.
Yeah, it was. I know what he's saying. It's a standard thing. If it was something I couldn't do, it never got that far to begin with.
Did JFK turn down Marilyn Monroe?
No. No, he didn't. No.
Well, he
I
didn't
see
turn
your
on. He didn't
point.
turn on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know the rest of them, but we do know Marilyn Monroe.
He's got his head full.
Her time, he was a knife. He ain't turning it down. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, my point is like,
and he had Jackie.
Right too.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that it's easy in that space when it's not really facing you. Like, you hear dudes say like, "Man, back in the day, boy, if I was on that plantation, I would have took that shit." Nah, motherfucker. Most likely, you would have took that shit.
Thank you, sir.
You would have took that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference between being in America and being around a lot of masculine energy women. That makes it somewhat easy to say, "Nah, I'm cool on that."
Yeah.
But what if you're in Bahia, Brazil? What if you there and you seeing all these chocolate honeys, long flowing curly hair, bubbles left and right? Turn down?
That's not male nature I'm talking about. Now, you should be able to apply discipline. That's what Complex is talking about, and I totally understand that. Now, just because the brother said what he said doesn't mean he doesn't have any discipline or will not try to apply any discipline.
Bruh, if you go to Brazil, if you go to I had two homies that went there. I had one homie who actually lived there for a while, but when they visited when he was in college, my homie said the dude we used to play ball with, he went with him, and he said the first night, man, he smashed two. The first night, the first, he was not playing. Like he said, man, just imagine coming into a place where you see every shade that you want, light, dark, medium brown, white. He said, man, we even saw midgets with fat asses. I said, God damn.
Was that what he was there for?
You goddamn right.
Well, okay. I don't travel for that.
Sorry, you guys. I don't know.
That's
if
what I mean. It's kind of like, man, it's sort of like it's really circumstantial.
The truth of the matter is, like, let's keep it real. Like, we men up here, men, especially if you in America and you around even Nicole Michelle said this. She even said the problem is that she said there are a lot of black men who have never been around a feminine energy woman before. when you are around a feminine woman energy,
Oh, I see what he's
you're
saying.
not used to it.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna you
Yeah, that's
talking about like maintaining control.
Am
That's
I
the
still lying? Am I still lying? Come out.
Right.
You want to release because you ain't been used to being able to really fully release and project in that masculine way you want to as a man because it's been bottled up. It's been bottled up. It'd be different if you could, if prostitution was legal in the United States. Then it's like, yeah, man, we get this shit all the time. But the fact that you don't have that, think about it, man. You don't see men. You don't see men from other countries for real that where prostitution is legal trying to move to a lot of Western cultures like that.
Can they afford to?
Where they going? They like, shit, I'm good. They ain't gotta go build no monuments. They ain't gotta build no 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure businesses, nothing like that. They ain't gotta do none of that. How many of those men in Brazil are trying to move to the United States?
None.
Thank you.
A lot of them can't.
Yeah.
I was gonna say a lot of them
can't.
I was gonna say
A lot of them don't want to. They got
but they can't though. They can't.
In those Latin American countries, they don't want to come to America.
They can get those women, and they don't have to be LeBron James. They right there. They don't even got to do that.
But I think you're assuming all men are just driven by women, and there's nothing else that
Yeah,
drives
that was
men.
good.
I didn't say all men are driven by women, but we like to fuck though.
Yeah, but is that the number one thing in your
primal,
life?
but yeah, you're
all
right.
throughout your whole lifetime. I see where you're going. I'm just saying you can't put that. Not all men think in the sense of my dick all the time.
Hey, yeah, I'm about to hop off. I just want to say to the traveling piece. First of all, thanks for having me up here, Complex and
Oh, yeah,
fellas.
absolutely, man.
Yeah, but to the traveling
Appreciate
piece, I always tell brothers, look, man, there's 3 reasons why I travel. I travel for culture, I like to go see artifacts and stuff. I can't wait to go to the Amazon. And, I want to see. There's certain things I want to see. The second reason, to get away from the country. I call it taking a KKcation. Sometimes you got to get out of America and decompress. But the main reason I travel, like I'm over in Europe right now working, is for money. And when I was saved for the last 2, women come with it. You know what I mean? You got yourself together, you got your mouthpiece together, you step out in the world as a man and you're doing your thing and you're moving, you're gonna run into women. So I don't me traveling for women, me buying a ticket with women in mind is never the case. You know what I mean?
I want you to mind enjoying it.
Yeah, because I already know women all over the world. So I'm not even concerned whether it's gonna be women in Europe or women in the DR. I know there's women out there. So what am I traveling for other than booty? And that's what I would tell brothers, man. Make sure whatever you're doing out in the world, do it for a higher reason. Women come along with it. If you meet a nice woman while you're there, that's going to happen. You know what I mean? If you're out and about, hanging out, you're at the bars, you're at the local club, the lounge, whatever, you're going to run into women. So just pack you a nice outfit. You're going to meet chicks, but make sure you're traveling for higher reasons.
That's a great point. I was going to say, you can even add to that, Jay Sean, even in your day-to-day existence.
Yeah.
Even if you're not even in the bars, if you out there handling business, women are going to take notice.
It comes with it, man. I was working the Pentagon, man. Like I was on the E-ring and the top general's office. Ain't number 5 women in them offices, man. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, man. So that's why I say get something going. Going down to, I was talking about earlier, being in the club. I got a lot of play just because I can get a chick in VIP. That's it. You get play off that. Getting somebody in the club, just having something that somebody wants. So get out here, get some business going, man. Get your stuff going. You look different. You're going to feel different. Women going to gravitate to you anyway. So always keep your mind on business. You know what I mean? And everything else follows. All right. So let me get up out of here, man. It's late over here. I got to take my butt to bed. And thanks for having me on, man. Good conversation. I'm going to come through more often.
All right, Jay Sean.
All right,
Appreciate
peace,
you,
Sean.
brother.
Peace, bro.
Hey, Jesse, welcome. And She, what's going on, brother?
She, we here.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Gee, what up, homie?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, fellas?
Hey, She, can
Your
you
mic is low.
Yeah, your mic's low. Jesse, can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
A little better. If you can put it up a little bit, it'd be great.
All right, let me turn it up a little bit. Let me adjust it on my.
Hey, Complex, I'm going to drop down. I'm going to be in the clouds.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you, Renaissance, man.
Yep.
Peace, Renaissance.
Peace.
All right, can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right.
Hey, what you got on it, bro?
Great topic, man. The feminine energy, man, it's something else. I was actually just talking about this on Roger's channel, and I was telling them that when it comes to a woman, for instance, like my wife, like I was telling them, it's a difference that I married out I married a Jamaican woman, and the difference from a lot of women that I dealt with, far as from the diaspora, they to the point where when I would say something, they will be more understanding to kind of if it makes sense, they can alter their thoughts versus most women, whatever they think about something, they want to stand on it, have a completely argument all the way down to the T. For instance, I was in the grocery store today. The lady shut off her light saying that she wasn't taking nobody. These two black women, they were yelling at her, "No, you gonna get us. We seen you when you turned the light off. We walked up when you did it." She said, "Exactly. You walked up when I turned it off. I didn't want nobody else after them." Now, if that was a situation with my wife, and I'd be like, "Look, she cut off her light. Let's go." Or the lady would have said, "I'm not taking you." She was like, "That's messed up." She would have went to the next line. Compared to other women having this conflict with him. Why we have to go through this?
Well, I mean, I would say this, man. That's why, like, we speak like the sapio thing speaks to the virtues of us being intelligent about our affairs. Um, how we navigate in the social space, and how we interact with one another. Okay, especially from a cultural stand. I can't really speak to that scenario right there, right? I mean, I guess outside of just I guess you say your wife's Jamaican. You said she's Jamaican.
Yeah, she Jamaican, but it's more like the culture, the way they were.
Yeah, that's what
A
I
lot
mean.
of
I'm
women are
like, I
brought
was
up.
kind of
Yeah,
like, I was gonna make a distinction. Like, okay, well, she's Jamaican. Culturally, she might have a kind of a different disposition than from like the sisters that, would have kind of taken, the cashier sort of turning the light off, saying, "Yo, I'm closed. My lane is shut down," and they take it a certain kind of way. I mean, these are just sort of like these cultural dynamics, right? But let me do this though. I mean, from a sapio position, like those type of women really just kind of aren't in the conversation, right? And that was part of the reason why I did this live stream, kind of it as a response to Platinum Elite in the beauty versus intelligence. And I'm like, okay, we're artificially creating like these schisms, right? Just like the see, because that schism right there is mirrored in the one where you have women who say they'll say, okay, there's no good black men, right? And then what they'll do is they'll say, okay, either I can choose from like just like the bottom of the barrel, the crab gutter nigga, right? I can choose from that, right, and try to fix it up, or I have to just settle with the bookworm guy over here, right? As if there's basically no wide gray area in between, no, you know what I mean, where you have a more sensible group of people that are probably going to be more in alignment if you were sensible. Much like how that exists, you have the beauty versus intelligence thing when it comes to women, as if you can't have both in one. And so I'm more espousing men actually valuing intelligence in women. But now when OK came up here, we had to basically break down what type of intelligence we're talking about. Feminine intelligence. Okay, so we're talking about a specific class, a specific class or a specific group of women. I see over here. We're going to take a different approach. We already understand what's happening in the rest of the manosphere and what they're talking about in the red pill and black, and we get it, right? Over here, we're going to talk sapiosexualism. So we're going to just go on the assumption that everybody here is intelligence. And that's a very good basis to start on, because it gets rid of the binary conversations and shit. It removes all the bullshit out the way, and we can start with something else.
Right.
She's got to be intelligent. For me,
Yep.
she has to be intelligent. She has to be feminine. She has to be submissive. I talked to my wife about it. I say, do you consider yourself submissive? And she goes, well, what do you mean by that? And I explained what I mean. And I don't remember exactly what I said, but I didn't know how she was going to take it because it was really nothing I had ever talked to her about before until recently, because we had been talking about it on these live streams. And she took it really well. She considered herself submissive, but she's educated. She can be very fiery. She shows a lot of leadership in her career, highly successful in her career. But at the end of the day, when she comes home and she's with me and she's with her family, she plays her role perfectly. And I play my role perfectly. So we have this dance together, and we're together for the long haul because we want things accomplished. I picked my wife out because I thought she'd be a great mother. Now my daughter, she's 2 years old right now. She can almost count to 20. She can count to 10 easy, and then she kind of stumbles a little bit, but she can get all the way to 20. And she read her first word about a week ago. I've been working on it, just working using like CVC, short A letters. I'm sure Art knows what I'm talking about, to try to teach her. And she read ad off the computer. It was sitting on the computer screen. She just happened to walk up. She goes, ad, like AD, ad, right? And I'm like, boom, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. That's why I picked the wife that I did, because I want a highly intelligent kids. I don't know. My wife's got a big booty too. And they say like a woman with a big butt, it's more fat for the brain. So when the baby is growing inside the womb, you get more intelligent children. I didn't want a wife with a big booty because my kids would be smart, because they're fun. But but it's still like that sapiosexual mentality. And I think more black men need to adopt that. Getting an intelligent woman who can make sound decisions. She doesn't have to be the most educated, but she does have to have that common sense wisdom. And if she has that, and she's feminine, meaning she's willing to acquiesce when it's time to acquiesce. That doesn't mean she's a pushover. That doesn't mean she doesn't stand up for herself. That doesn't mean she doesn't get her demands and her needs met. It has nothing to do with that. It means that she plays her role. It means like me being masculine. It means that if somebody breaks in the house or a limb falls off a tree on my house like it just did and tears up the fence, I got to go fix the fence. She's not going to do it. I'm the man. I do that hard work. She's going to raise my daughter, though.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
we could drag. Well, the thing is that it's a difference between a woman who has always valued intelligence in a man since, hell, I don't know, high school. Let's say high school, for example. She's always valued an intelligent man, as opposed to a woman who ran her sexual marketplace value down to the ground, and now she's in her 30s and needs help, and now all of a sudden she values intelligence. It's two different things. That's two different things.
And the thing to want to think about,
because I've seen those types of women. Because I remember when the word sapiosexual started really getting popular on Facebook, and every chick around was talking about, oh, I like nerds.
You're right.
I like nerds. So that let me know off the rip, like, no, you don't.
Well, my issue with that is that
you don't have to announce something like that.
Well,
You don't have to announce that you like smart women. Like that's just it don't even make any sense. Like
it's a thing for you.
It's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the fact that they had to announce it. But if I look at your history and if I look at your sexual past and most of the dudes you dealt with is on some DMX type shit, then I'm like, nah.
Well, you shouldn't say nerds. That's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm over here doing some stuff for the missus as we talk. As y'all were talking, because I had to translate for her because she had a doctor's appointment. But the thing is,
you're a simp. You're a simp. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, you got to take care of your investment. But anyhow, the deal is that we're looking at.
Uh-oh.
We lost the Art.
Yeah, we lost your Art.
Wait, there he is. Uh-oh, is he broke out again?
Yeah, he cut out.
But I really like the way you guys are approaching just right now because I'm really tired. Because Complex might think I was approaching it from the binary approach, but I'm so tired of the binary talking points in this space, man. It's like it hurts my
Yeah.
brain, man. Like,
Yeah, it does. Same
That's
here.
what we talk
Yeah.
about. We talk about over here. You don't see me over there.
yeah,
And
You gotta
you're right.
understand, dude. Like I was happily married. I'm widowed. Okay, my wife passed away 3 weeks ago. It was 6 years that my wife
Oh
passed away.
man, I'm sorry
Okay,
about
Sorry
that.
for your loss.
I appreciate you guys.
Rest in peace to her.
Yeah, I
yeah.
appreciate you, bro. Um, and so my experience was completely different.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
completely different, right? So just like how people will tell me, well, you're just but one person, so your experience isn't reflective of everyone else's. And then I'll take that and then I'll reverse it though, and I'll go, okay, so since I had this type of experience, I can tell you a little bit about how it was and kind of what how I was moving to kind of find what I found. And because you've never had that, maybe you might want to listen to what I gotta say, and then maybe you might try to fuck with that. Huh? I don't know.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
That
Sorry
that
about
that's
that,
a
fellas.
that's a thought.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah, there
hear
you
you,
go,
Yeah,
Art.
man.
we can hear you, Art.
Okay. Yeah, so I was going into the whole thing about logic versus feelings,
Hmm.
and I think that's the part to where they supposed to dance together rather than fight each other.
Hmm.
And that's when
Yep.
the woman has her intelligence to know how to put her feelings to support the logic instead of fight the logic.
Right.
You know, because when we start arguing, with these women, and most of the time, logic usually wins when it comes to that kind of thing. Usually, and so that what happens is when you take all of the logic space away from her, that's when she starts swinging and going nuts because she has nothing else to fight with. So all she has is the feelings. So
Mm.
if she's intelligent enough, she'll know how to hold back and make sure that she's still engaged in the conversation without losing her marbles and losing who she is.
Well, let's do this,
So,
Art. Let's also do this, right? So I'm also requiring because see, when I look at my counterpart, and let's just say she has a career, right? So that
mhm,
means that in this thing that she does for money, she has job responsibilities. There's like a job description, and she has like a boss, and maybe she has some underlings, and maybe she does who knows what. But see, one of the things that I know from the fact that she can hold down a job is that she understands how to apply logic.
mhm,
Okay, because see, her job requirement when she agreed to the job didn't say, "Hey, use all of your feelings and your emotions, right,
mhm,
to do all of your accounting work or whatever the
mhm,
case may be." No, see, so I intrinsically and inherently know that women have the ability to use their minds and apply intelligence. Okay,
mhm,
and what I'm also requiring is much like how it is incumbent upon me to always be in my correct masculine frame, right? With
mhm.
regards to having to hold down house and home, be responsible for my daughter and all that. See, I can't have my times right where I just get in my fifis, let's just say, and then I forget what my role is as an adult.
Mhm.
Now, I'm gonna be looking at her the same goddamn way. Why? Because you can get out here, you can move in society, you do all the things that I do. You've shown all of the ability in the world to apply your intelligence to go negotiate your rate for a new car, and you know what I mean. Set your cell phone up, and pay rent, and have a job. You can do all that perfectly fine, but you mean to tell me in the context of a relationship you can't apply intelligence all of a sudden?
Right. Right. Exactly.
I'm
Well,
You know.
sorry. I'm gonna hold you to a high standard. Yes, the same standard you hold me to when you tell me, "Oh, well, you need to be able to provide and protect and do all these things." Well, it takes mental power to do these things.
Right.
It takes some intelligence to do these things, right?
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
I'm gonna need that person who's rolling with me to have a little bit of that too.
well,
It's not too
I
much to
was
ask.
reading. Well, complex. I was reading from a historian. I cannot find this for the life of me. When I shut down my Facebook account back in 2016, I was so done with it. I didn't even go through my messages and get a lot of the stuff that I had saved. But the historian said that if you want to control, if one of the best ways to control women is through their ego. Okay, And so, what does mass media sell to women is an overinflated sense of ego. Okay, so for example, when men get resources, it's for the whole, it's for the group. When men went to hunt and got meat, it's not like they brought meat back and say, "Hey, y'all women over there, y'all just gonna eat the berries that y'all picked off the tree, and we're gonna eat just meat." Like men share meat with the whole of the group, and so when it comes to these women, because they're in their masculine energy and it's a competition, they're not looking at resources in terms of, like, this is for the group. They're looking at resource attainment as a competition with men, like who has the big penis, like type mentality. You can see that even with Kevin's show. A lot of times, Kevin tells these women all the time, "Put your dick up," okay? And so when you have women who don't look at themselves as a part of a whole, their whole identity is about trying to prove to you that she's a better man than you, then clearly that's not feminine intelligence. Because feminine intelligence will tell you to work with the man, which is going to give you the greatest level of protection that you can have. Does it mean you're going to always be fully protected? No. I mean, history shows you that groups of people fought each other, killed each other, enslaved each other, did other things to other groups, happened to them. This has been a constant in human history. We live in a country where we don't have to worry about that like that. But in other places in the world, that shit's still going on because of the fact that a lot of these places have, third world countries, third world mentalities, things like that. Um, and so, but even with that being said, even though these men haven't built the greatest civilizations and economies like some have in the West, these men get the ultimate respect. So it can't just be this mindset that, oh, well, men have to build it and then we'll come. Because a lot of those men can't even build a damn hut. And those women acquiesce to their masculine energy. They know that at the end of the day, their future safety and well being depends on the strength and the capabilities of those men, even if they got to go out there and throw a spear at something and kill something to eat on some primitive type stuff.
Well stated.
Well said.
Yeah, what's going on,
Anybody want to
fellas?
go?
Yeah,
Go
what's
ahead.
going on,
Yeah,
Joseph?
I'll go ahead and chime in on this a little bit. So the way I kind of look at it is, I think when you talk about intelligence, being a sapiosexual, I think generally you're looking at IQ in most cases, right? So we could talk about like feminine characteristics and stuff like that, but I do think the IQ, the social intelligence, the emotional intelligence are very important, especially when you're particularly trying to find a mate. Because if you somebody mentioned big booty Brenda earlier, right? And if you really look at some of these women that may be physically appealing, I mean, they can range from mild mental retardation to low average IQ level.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I think it comes down to average. Like, okay, what level of physical attractiveness can you accept, and what level of IQ can you accept? Because you need a base level of both to be able to find an acceptable mate. That's
Yep.
all. That's
Right.
all what it comes down to. 'Cause there's no real. I don't think there's a such thing as a real sapiosexual in the sense of someone that would be willing to accept a genius level woman that they don't find physically appealing,
Okay,
right?
wait.
That's an
Here, wait,
extreme.
wait. Here but okay. Again, why do we have to do this? All it means is that the intelligence is what attracts you. So I keep having to do this. Let's take a very gorgeous woman, right? And we're gonna clone her. We're gonna make two versions of her. You have a very dumb one, and you have an intelligent one. Okay. if your preference is for the intelligent one, call yourself a sapio. If you prefer the dumb one, don't call yourself one. See, it always becomes a thing of, well, okay, well, if she's intelligent but she doesn't look attractive, okay. The fact of the matter is that attraction is attraction, okay. However, intelligence is the key one. Is it there? Yes or no?
Well, from my understanding, it always meant being attracted to the intelligence before the physical appearance.
No, how can you have you ever been attracted to someone you've never seen?
Sure.
Through a conversation.
Sure. In a certain way.
But like you have no visual, no nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, he was talking about that earlier about party line. People used to be on the telephone, falling in love.
Really?
Yeah, they did that back in the day. Some of them did.
I've never done that shit. Like with someone you've never even seen before. How did you get on the phone with someone you never even seen?
Yeah. This is like, for me,
it's their imagination.
Yeah, I mean, the imagination is, man, like, you talking to a chick on the phone you never met, and her voice is nice and sultry. You'll be like, damn, boy, she might.
And until you look at her behind the phone.
Yeah, I mean, there was shit.
They used to have those hotline back in the 80s and 90s, you know.
Okay, well, I mean, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, but I don't know.
Well, they had the party line.
Yeah,
976 numbers. They were called 976 numbers.
Man.
We used to prank call them.
Yeah, we used to prank call the party lines.
I mean, I don't know if anybody actually fell in love, but let's just pretend that.
I was like, dude, like that happened.
Maybe not fall in love. They could at least got
not fall in love, but
that's why I was like, wait, like without like nothing.
But remember, they showed like the people that how they really look. It was like these 400-pound women like moaning and groaning and having orgasms, and guys just like going for it, like go keep talking. They didn't even know how these chicks look. That was so funny, man.
But that's something to the aspect of catfishing. But they actually see the people, but still.
No, man.
Yeah, that was a standard, man.
3-4 years.
Some were guys. Some were guys acting like women. It was crazy. I was like, these people paying money for this.
Oh damn. Damn.
I can see a chick and she can just physically. It's like, okay, great, attractive. Okay. I literally don't like, dude. She's gotta open her mouth and say something.
I mean, it can go both ways.
Literally looking at a woman does literally nothing for me. She's got to open her mouth.
You can. There's like certain guys. I'm the type of guy I couldn't deal with a 10 out of 10 physically, and she's like, mentally retarded or like a very below average IQ level. Like I personally couldn't do that. Some guys that could do it,
I mean, she's like all fine and everything, but she's dumb as rocks. But then swearing up and down that like you're supposed to be all like ogling over her, and I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. Like because in my head I'm like, okay, you're walking with someone who's smarter than you, so you should actually be right.
On the flip side, though, check this out. Check on the flip side. How many guys that consider themselves sapiosexuals, how many guys could handle women that are superior intelligence to them? Because then you have the possibility for manipulation coming into the fold, right?
Thank you for bringing that up. I was trying to bring that up in the context of the whole quote unquote manosphere, and I understand complex don't want to get messed up, get mixed up all in that mess. But there is that line of thoughts. There's that line of talking points that goes right across all the manosphere, whether you call it 1.2, 1.5, 509, whatever version you want to call it. It's a lot of guys out there that put that sort of train of thought where if the woman has any level of intelligence and they try to mask it as if, this woman doesn't have any submission, why you got to get a job, why you got to have a degree, it's all based in insecurity.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
dude, I just want to point out that there's a great fictional portrayal of that type of relationship dynamic in the fictional movie Gone Girl, where it's like a Ivy League educated sociopathical wife that the guy has that sets him up throughout the movie. So
Yeah.
Well, it's as
Yeah, good
if like
point.
like as if like a degree. See, here's the thing, right? A chick's degree and like her career, like it's literally irrelevant to me. And it's kind of like for her, if it's like a thing that there's nothing wrong with like say, like okay, I like what I do, for example, right? I'm in the tech space, there's different things that I do within it, and I kind of like what I do, you know. And there's nothing wrong with a woman having a profession and liking what she does, okay? But it's not who I am though. It's just what I do for a living to make money. Now, if what she does, if she makes that her, right? So every time I engage with this person, it's like her degree and job title is in front of her at all times, right? Dude, no dice. We're going nowhere fast, right? It's kind of like when you clock out of work, clock the fuck out, like all of it, drop it. Okay, when you leave work, you leave all that shit there. I need to deal with you, right? But if you are your job and you are your degree and you are all that shit, you can have yourself. I don't want you.
Yeah. I mean, you're right, complex, and I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think females or educated females are the only one that deal with that. But you're exactly right, because you could be dating a female could be dating a cop, or and he has those sort of a situation where he brings his job home and things of that nature. But we're speaking in terms of these guys. Maybe I should leave this alone, because, as you said, your space is not about none of that fuckery.
No, it's not.
But I hate that binary approach, and it is so stupid, because these guys are saying, "Oh, I'm an alpha male. Why she got to have a degree? Why you wasting your time go to college, this, that, and the third?" But reality is, your 65, 75,000, $90,000 income in Boston, New York, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, for one person, you can barely live on it, or for one person, how can two, three-person live off of it? The reality just doesn't jive. And that sort of narrative, it really get on my nerve, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But you're
it's
coming.
common though.
yeah. I'm not. See, the thing is this, dude. Like I said, man, I'll be the first one to say, dude. My wife had a master's degree. I don't have a college. I dropped out of college at 17. Okay, she had a master's degree, from Jesuit University, okay, and education and all that. But that wasn't that she didn't like embody it like that. It was just kind of like, okay, I ended up going here, I went to school here, I went to school here, and then I ended up doing this for my career. But she had her own interests and her own things and things that she wanted to do in life that really had nothing to do with it. Matter of fact, she was more into what I was doing. I was doing the music thing, and I made good money doing it. So she was more interested in what I was doing and saying, "Hey, well, look, I don't have to do all this education stuff, where I can create programs and do things as I want, but I'm more into what you've got going on, and I want to well, it wasn't like a I want, it was what we wanted. But this is what I'm speaking to, though, like with the master's degree and the career and education and all that. She didn't lose herself in it. She never lost herself in it.
So
And
it's
See,
that's
totally
that's what
all
what a lot of women today do is they lose themselves. They identify with their career. They identify
oh,
with
okay.
their degree. They identify
Too
with
late.
all of that. They don't identify with themselves personally.
Yes.
The person that
Yep.
existed
True.
prior to the degree, prior to the career, and prior to all of the bullshit programming that they got. There was once an innocent person there, right? And that got lost along the way somehow. And I'll tell you this much, dude. I don't care to deal with it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. A lot of female, they do, especially these days. People are very materialistic, and one of the things that I notice in the dating market, as I am in the market, is that women are quick to ask you, There's some kind of echo.
Wait,
But
hold on one second. Let me fix that.
Yeah, but
Yard
oh,
happy.
go ahead.
Good. You
Oh, you
guys
about
got
to
it.
show something?
yeah,
No,
but
no,
let
no,
me
no.
finish this
No, I
real
had to
quick.
fix something.
But whenever you're
Oh, okay.
He does
whenever
that all the time, Art.
talking to a woman and you, for me, I'll tell you, hey, look, I just moved here about 2 years ago from California, da da da, because of my job. They always ask you, what do you do? They always get into that whole thing or whatnot. And some women, they can kind of get caught up in it, right? But for some men too, especially in this space, I noticed it can be such an obsession for them and a source of insecurity. I will say, I will honestly say, some men, they're not looking at it from your perspective because these women, they're just always throwing their degrees at them. I think some men in this space, though they don't talk about it, I'll probably get a bad name for this. I think it's coming from a source of insecurity and they want that leverage where the woman doesn't have an income and the woman always got to come to them so the woman can give them that submission that they're crying about.
Well, let me touch on some of that a little bit because I think you were asking about having a woman having superior intelligence over a guy. You have to, sometimes you got to define what is superior.
What is that?
Yeah, because that's the thing is that again, if we're coming to a consensus that there is a such thing as feminine and masculine intelligence, then you got to start figuring out what compartments they belong to. So now when you're dealing with it from a point to where okay, I got these degrees. Hell, degrees are nothing but licenses. They're just something to show that you know your profession.
I call them
So
receipts.
So
Right.
when I brought it
so
up, I was speaking just on IQ, right? I
Hmm.
was
so
speaking just on IQ.
even that fam, because sometimes the knowing the Bob Hope Award could give you a boost in your IQ in America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It has to be something to where you know what fits within your space as a man versus just worrying about somebody's degree or anything like that. How does she fit in my space as my woman? You know, that's that whole thing. But if you start putting all these extra stuff, it's almost like taking my, since you got a woman that's a good driver and she has a driver's license, then that might be in the way because she drives better than me. I mean, how does that sound? I mean, does that make any sense at all?
Or that
Because
makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. I want to piggyback on that because it's funny. I think we're talking about the same guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he said it about 1,000 times. He goes, I don't need a woman with an education. It doesn't matter. I've been divorced 3 times. I don't want her to have a degree. I pay all the bills. I pay the
Are you
rent. I
talking
pay
about
the groceries.
cuts?
Not cuts. No, somebody else. And he talks about being
oh,
divorced like several times, and I'm thinking like, do you not see the connection there? You say you do not care about your woman's intelligence. You don't care about that. And you've been divorced 3 times. And it's like he
Oh, you
still
talking
hasn't
about
figured it out
platinum?
yet.
Okay.
And then no, not him, it's somebody else. But I think
Oh,
the
okay.
reason why guys can have problems, that can be very dangerous to say, I don't care about her intelligence and I'm gonna pay all the bills. Because
Water
now,
seeks its own level.
yeah. And then and what if you're smart, so much smarter than her, she feels intimidated. Now all of a sudden she's giving you back talk and sassing you, not because she dislikes you, but she feels threatened by your intelligence. She
She's
has to use
intimidated. Yeah.
she's intimidated. Or now all of a sudden she's not working, she's not paying any bills, she's not contributing into life. She's not even feeling self-actualized because she didn't go to school and go after the career that she wanted for herself. Instead, it's like, you build this this dollhouse for her, put her in that dollhouse and say, you're my arm candy. I pay all the bills. You do what I say. I'm alpha. And then when she sleeps with your best friend and gets pregnant by the neighbor, then you wonder what happened.
Yeah, that talking point is
Yeah.
very popular in this space, man. And I just be shaking my head because like I said, it just doesn't react. It doesn't jive up with the reality of inflation, cost of living, things of that nature, raising children. Like it just doesn't jive up. But these guys, they're so obsessed with and not that I'm saying it's not important to have submission, I'm the alpha male, I pay all the bills. Not that I'm saying that's not important, but you're losing sight of the reality of things.
Well, I have a fundamental. I have a hard time believing Well, okay. Let me not say that. Let me just say it like this. I've never had a conversation where it was me.
Complex.
No, but yo, someone there?
I think that's the
Some?
person that just got on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. Wait. I think I just lost my point.
We've never had this conversation.
Uh, I totally lost my
No,
point.
he meant what you call it. He meant he's not that type of person. That's what you left off.
What the fuck was I saying?
I probably while I'm
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was saying.
Yeah, I
but
think I think you just gotta.
Let the new guy talk, man.
Man,
That's
brain fart.
brain fart, dude.
Brain
He's
fart,
sipping on a
yeah. I get
Slurpee.
those
That's
every
what it
once in a
is.
while. Yeah.
He's sipping it too
Could I
fast.
could I speak on?
But go ahead,
Yeah, I want to just say real quick, but we went through that on your channel, Art. Remember it was I want to say the guy name, but he was kept coming up with these all scenarios and was talking about how he's not going to date a woman. I was on the phone. Well, that makes a lot of money and everything because he found out that women who kind of higher up in their education status and stuff like that, and they kind of drag them along to a certain degree. And I'm like, dude, why would you want to date a woman that makes a lot of money? I mean, ultimately, if she's submissive and put you in line as being in control of everything, then so be it. Well, she's gonna give me lip. I'm like, well, then she's not submissive to you. Like you're trying to confuse the two
I
because
mean,
ultimately,
yeah.
yeah, if you're dealing with a woman that's not submissive like that, then like I always tell guys, if you stay with a woman that's, you say she's submissive, but she's running all over you and doing all this stuff, you deserve her. You get everything that comes with the package deal because if she's not submissive, leave. You
Yeah, yeah.
know what I'm
But
I'm
other
gonna
saying?
than
give you
that,
two types of submissives. I'm gonna give y'all two
oh,
types of submissive. You
oh,
got the
this is art.
submissive to where, yes, sir. You got a submission where, you got a bad cut on your leg or something, and you barely can walk, and you tell your woman, hey, come over here and treat this real quick so I can go, right? And she'll come in and listen and do it, right? She knows what to do. Then you got another submission to where you got that same cut, you barely can walk, but you don't want any kind of treatment, and she come out of nowhere and say, hey, you can't go anywhere. I gotta do this. Like, no, leave me alone. And she says, like, no, I'm gonna hold you down and make sure that your leg is okay. That's a question I would ask. What submission would you prefer?
Damn, Art. As soon as you got to the best part, you borged
You
out. Say
worked
that
out,
again.
man. Can you repeat that?
Oh, y'all heard the first
Yeah, you
submission,
might be
right?
working
He's
too.
bargain.
When you
He's bargain.
Hey Art, when you was saying what was submission, that last part,
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have to come back on again. I don't know, for some reason we don't see your
The second,
your
Yeah, his
icon.
avatar.
Yeah,
yeah,
avatar.
he's
That's
moving around.
StreamYard.
That's why he's moving
It's
around.
yeah.
Shit.
yeah.
Okay.
Log back in
Y'all heard
again.
the
Art.
first description.
Wait,
Okay, go
wait,
ahead.
wait.
Y'all
It
heard
was
the
the
first
point that you were
description.
making, man. Right when you were making your
Yeah, we
point,
heard it.
it dropped out.
Right, right
Yeah,
where
we
you
heard
make
the
your
first
point,
part.
Art.
The
Okay.
second one, why were you doing the second?
Oh, the second submission is you got the same cut on the leg. You can barely walk, but she comes around and say, "Hey, you got a cut on your leg," and then you telling the woman like, "Leave me alone. I gotta get somewhere." She's like, "No, you need to sit down." So she holds you down and makes sure that she takes care of that cut so that you be okay. I was asking, which submission would you prefer?
Uh,
Can y'all hear me?
Second. I like the second.
I can hear you.
You like the forceful submission?
I like the first
Yeah,
submission. I
yeah.
don't
If
want no
I'm gonna
force.
hurt myself, yeah.
My
I
point,
don't.
the
I
point
don't
that I'm
like
making
either.
is that people think that the submission stuff is mainly the chick just at her knees or whatever, but you
right.
guys mainly submission is the for the best of you. I mean, it's the for what's best for the man. She took over from the mom, so now she's taking care of you. So the stuff that you need that you can't do for yourself, she's submitting to that nature for the man based on the stuff that keeps him going. If she can't handle that, then she's not submissive. Period.
That's a great way to put that, Art. That's a great way.
Yeah. Well,
I- I-
the other way to look at it too is that if you're okay, if you're not in a submissive role, you're in a dominant role. Okay, and if you're in a dominant role, then that means that you basically take responsibility for everything, right?
Right.
So, or let's just say not necessarily take responsibility for everything, but you take responsibility for leading. Okay, this is
Yeah,
what
because
you
the other
do. You
thing to
take.
look at. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Art. Go ahead.
No, because I was just to follow up. Another example is Terminator 2. Even though Arnold was a man, and I mean, as far as that, I mean, the movie, he was submissive to Sean Connor, even though he was kicking ass and shooting people and all that. His goal was to
Yeah, the
make
kid,
sure Sean
the
was
boy.
safe. Yeah, the boy. He was making sure that he was safe. That's an act of submission. Period. So I think that's the part where we have to start figuring out if this is the one, if this is the one that we want, because I don't. I mean, who can get the job? And that's my issue. Who can get the job done? And I can move on and just say, hey, I'm successful. She's a part of this. She rolled her sleeves up. Whatever it takes. That's my whole thing on submission.
And I would posit to say that if a woman, if by submission she thinks like figure four leg lock, then she's not using much intelligence.
Woo! Tap out, tap out.
Sorry, tap out. I submit, tap out. Winner by submission.
The submission hold. Ding, ding, ding.
Where's Charles? Do we need him?
I mean, I joke, but the problem that I have is that when I hear the submission conversations or whatever, like in my head, I always think like Ric Flair and figure four leg lock. That's how twisted my head is. Okay, so
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm thinking about
I like to
crossface.
say
I'm thinking
submissive.
about crossface, Chris Benoit.
I like to call
yeah,
it
yeah,
submission.
yeah.
Just
Has
because
anybody on here ever watched the show Downton Abbey?
Wait, say that again, Rob.
Has anybody on here ever watched the show Downton Abbey?
Downton Abbey. Yeah, you know what?
I haven't seen it, but I know about it.
Yeah. I seen like
Great
one or two
show.
episodes, man. My lady used to watch it.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
What I love about this show is that it shows the dynamics of women and how much power and influence they have in the family sphere. And much of what you'll see in the show is the older women trying to steer the younger women up under them, even if it's their daughter-in-law, how to get theirs in a family context from a feminine perspective.
Bingo.
And
Yeah,
how
it's a great example of soft power.
very great. And I mean, it's a great show because it really does show that soft power. And men will do very well to watch this show because it takes place in the times of, when values was much more important. In terms of, when you can see when females did certain behaviors and how it can reflect poorly on your family and how socially it could be a death sentence for your family. And that's what it should always be about. At the end of the day, people can say what they want to about Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton is the more dominant force in that relationship. I was reading a book on this, on body language, and it was talking about that you can tell just by the way a man and a woman is holding hands who is the more dominant person. And it talked about how even though she's the dominant person in that relationship, she is about advancing the name of Bill Clinton. She's all about advancing his name. When all of those women, and he had plenty of women come out the woodwork to try to expose him, that woman bust all them women down, all them white women. She destroyed them. And she didn't leave because her mission was about helping him, because she specifically picked this dude out because she saw he had the charm. He had the kind of charm that could ultimately woo those women voters, and she ultimately has always done what she has done on behalf of the family. So
Yeah,
it's
political
the intention.
hypergamy.
It's the intention. It's the
Yeah.
intention. That's what matters. If she's doing it on behalf for the man and his family and his lineage to project his lineage forward, hey man,
Well,
that's
there's a
feminine
rumor
intelligence
I
to
that
me.
think
that
that's a good
well, there's a
example.
rumor that Chelsea Clinton isn't even his kid, but I digress.
Hey,
I think
Yeah.
that's a good
What?
example of
Oh
using the
yeah, look that
Clinton
up.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
very good.
I've heard it
if you look
before.
at
Yeah.
their relationship dynamic, she comes from a more prestigious family
She sure
than
does.
Yes,
Bill
she
does.
does.
And they also show that same dynamic in the show Downton Abbey with the Irish guy that married into the
Right.
family,
Yeah,
showing
Peter.
how even though they're women, right, and the men are the outward face of power, for them coming from a more prestigious class, they're still able to maintain some amount of power over the men in those dynamics, which is the same with Hillary and Bill Clinton.
Because the women of those times, they knew that without a family name, those women don't exist. See,
Right,
without a
right.
family name, they don't exist. Women without a family name, historically, and I'm not saying this to hurt anybody, but are regarded as the same way as people used to view bastard children. You didn't have a family name. If you didn't have your father's name, like that was considered the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? Even though that man could go out there and ultimately build his name up through his ingenuity. But for women, without that family name, they really don't exist. And the reason why you know Hillary Clinton is because you know her through the Clinton name.
Hmm.
She helped advance that name. No matter what this dude did, no matter his dalliances on the side, she is always because her mindset has been very simple. Why am I going to leave this man just for these other women who claim I should leave him just for them to get him? She's like, no.
Exactly.
She's like,
Yeah.
no. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be a part of this legacy. He going to help me run for president. I didn't win, but he going to help me get to be the senator. He can help me be the secretary of state. And we're going to have a family name like the Clinton Foundation because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Not about some raggedy chick who who was the first generation in her family to get a degree. Ooh, yeah, you did something. And for you to be out here in dudes' faces like, oh, there are no black men who went to college. I mean, let these women tell it. These black women act like they never been to college with black men. Bullshit. Black men in college too. But
Bro,
because
I totally
because their
get that.
projection based on what they've been programmed to do, they've been programmed to compete with the men instead of building up a family name with men.
Right, and if you're gonna compete with like a dude who has like basically who outpaces you in terms of like technical aptitude, intelligence, and all that type of stuff, like you see him perpetually as competition. Okay,
Right.
so from a dating pool perspective, you're gonna either you're gonna do one of two things. Either you're gonna basically say, well, those dudes don't exist, i.e. myself and Miss J saying that I don't exist, right? Like you don't exist because you're basically career competition.
Right.
Okay, and if you're career competition, then you're someone that I kind of fundamentally don't particularly care for. So I'm not going to really be thinking or have any sort of inclination to develop anything romantically with you when I'm always looking to try to outpace you and beat you in the career field of my choice. Okay, so what that means is now you're relegated to basically all of those dudes who would be competing with you in the workforce, right? So that's gonna be the niggas that really don't have no job and ain't doing shit, right? So he's no competition to me, okay? Or that other pool on the other side of the spectrum, right? That literally nobody wants. You could always pull from over there and do whatever the hell you want to do with them, right? Because ain't nobody doing shit with them anyway. That is the dichotomy that exists in women's heads.
And I'm
And,
looking. Oh, go ahead, fam.
oh no, and the only thing I wanted to do was like when I was addressing Platinum Elite with the live stream he did on Saturday, I said the only thing that shit did was it did that, but just in reverse with men. And I was like, okay, here we go.
What
Here we
happened?
go.
What happened on the stream on Saturday?
Well, no, it became a thing of like beauty or intelligence.
That's the whole point of this live stream.
I got
And
it.
I'm like,
It was a counter. Yeah,
yeah, as if,
I had to come on early.
yeah,
So.
as if you can't, like, okay, it's just it's either or. It's always some sort of binary construct that always has black folks always at some sort of odds with each other.
And you know
So
what?
what?
That choice, that binary approach, that doesn't even exist really and truly, because as the brother said earlier,
Imaginary.
the brother down there, he was saying, what's the level, what's the lowest level threshold of intelligence you're willing to accept, or what's your threshold level? And I think that's where the question that's where it's at, because really and truly, I mean, even if the person is dumb as hell, there's still some, whether it's unacceptable to you or not, there's still some minimal level of intelligence there. That's not really a choice, beauty or intelligence.
Well, like the
Yeah, I
ability
wanted to jump in.
to say
Oh,
yes
go
and
ahead.
no or something. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Art.
And what y'all know about that fusion that he's playing back there? Not too many people talk about fusion in these spaces.
Oh,
But
in the background, you hear that?
yeah, man, nobody know about fusion in these
I
spaces,
know
man.
about that.
I don't know about fusion. Tell me about fusion. What do I need to
Playing
know?
it.
Bruh, that's one of the most advanced music ever. But
Yeah.
All right.
nobody. But
I'm a big
anyhow, but the thing is that we talk about Hillary Clinton. If you know about Lady Macbeth, Lady Macbeth was always in Macbeth's ear about being ambitious. You know what I'm saying? So it does appear that she was running things, but the thing was she knew what to say to get the dude going, and the fact that he rose to prominence. So some women have that kind of natural ability too to contribute with her intelligence. Like I said, there's levels. Like I think it was Bello Gino talking about the different levels.
Mm-hmm.
There's different levels, man. But some people got to be honest about what you need in what level you need in your life, because some things you just can't handle.
Right, right. That's facts right there.
Facts.
I got
I
5
tell people all the time, like,
man. We've been at.
if you ain't ready for certain things, don't be out here asking for it. Like a woman who is better as a side piece, man, don't go out there asking for marriage. That ain't for you.
Right.
Be the best side piece you can be, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask for something that you're not ready for. It sounds good, but marriage is a duty. It's an obligation. It's a job. Like if you're not prepared for that. Matter of fact, I remember this one black chick said on Facebook, she said her mom told her, this is what her mom said. It's better for you to be the chick on the side than the wife. She said, because the wife has a lot of work to do. She said, you can be on the side and still get some gifts and stuff, but don't have to do all that work. So women need to know this. Women know this.
Yeah, people thought that I was joking when I said it's an investment. It's an investment. You talking about children, properties. It's a lot going on in these relationships.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no, it's not
Yeah.
all women aren't suited for marriage. That's one thing that I had to learn, man. Every
Y'all agree
woman
with
is
that?
not suitable to be a wife.
No.
You know,
Exactly.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I kind of knew some girls that were side chicks, and they would always say they would deal with these different guys, and I'd be like, dang, you be letting dudes, you be like they'll be having like 4 or 5 dudes they fool with, but at the same time, when they end up breaking up with their old ladies, they be like, oh hell no, I got to get this dude a girl. And I'm like, why? This your chance. This is you the side chick for. She's like, nah, I'm not applying for that. That's not my job. My job is to get the gifts and to go home. He go his way, I go my way. She was like, my lifestyle has been paid like this. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is so.
No, and I'm just
But I've
saying,
heard
man,
that
that's,
before.
being the type of dude, sapio dude myself. Like I said, man, that's for Platinum and the rest of them dudes. They can have it. I don't want that. Y'all can have that shit.
Hey man, don't do bro like that.
They be
No,
having
I'm
some
for
crazy
real, dude.
conversations
Like,
over there. Dude. I can't.
But that's what they do, man.
real talk.
That's
The
what
reason why I
they do.
said the reason
He's
why I
all
say it
right
like
though,
that,
but that's
no,
what
the
he
reason why I
does.
said
Yeah.
the reason why I say it like that, right, is because there is a misconception about what sapiosexualism actually is. See, so when I start contextualizing like that and say, hey, look, you can take
What's up,
all the
Noob?
garbage in the dating pool, right, and put it over there, then that means that when you over here on this sapiosexualism shit, you're only dealing with the best. That's why I'm like
Yeah.
anything lower, anything of a lower nature, of a lower position, right? Where we're having to capitulate with dysfunction over there.
Yeah,
That's
complex man. I was quite shocked like when I heard platinum. I'm like, it must be some kind, and his voice sound a little different because I have unplugged from all that toxicity from those channels. I just can't, I just couldn't do it anymore. But I was shocked to see him on this side.
Oh well, yeah. I had said that when I did it, I didn't know how to like reach out to him, but I didn't want to like fire up a live stream and then have him not have the ability to.
Yeah, Mike V told him to come over here,
Yeah,
and he
yeah. So I think
decided. He decided, and he's no stranger to these type of conversations. Like he'll be on Fantastics one minute, acting crazy, talking about his stuff, but over here,
well,
you
no,
know,
this is
he's
his
not
first
that
time over
dumb
here. He
though.
had never been here,
Yeah,
so he didn't know
yeah,
how this conversation was going to go.
yeah. But he said he said he subscribed 5 months, but the whole purpose was at least he was listening. So it sounds like he's not that dumb. He just tried to
he
pretend
knows
to
how
be.
to code switch.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, I'm not. I'm not calling him dumb. I'm just saying like maybe the
yeah.
women he messes with are dumb. But hey, I'm gonna give it last thoughts or anything, man, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. We've been at this, and
Oh, okay.
go
About
get up
3 hours.
another one. And
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
because I want to say too. I'll just go ahead and jump off. He pretty much was on art. He was on your channel, and remember when he came over talking, the same thing over in his space. And once he talked with BGS, he knew like, okay, this not the channel for that. I
Exactly.
can
BG
talk
just don't
certain
tolerate
things.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he
Yeah,
knew
it's
that
a
it was
game
certain
though.
things that he can say. And because even BGS seen through it, hey, I know what you're here for, and I know what you're doing.
Game talk.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah,
MOT does the same thing when he was on his channel, and he told him, I talk about a little politics, and just like they do the same thing, they're no nonsense type of guy. Now, if he ever went on Wacky's channel, he won't play that nonsense either. That's the guys I be listening to, but
yeah,
but he
I just
knows,
subbed the Racky,
yeah,
but
but
I'm gonna go
it
ahead
just
and
it
hop
just
off,
shows
guys.
you. All right,
All right, I
peace.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
man, one day, man, we got to do a fusion panel, man, because I
Oh
don't think
shit,
people know
man!
about.
If you're around Art, or you going live later?
No, tomorrow I am, but
Okay,
not
yeah, I
today.
have I have another live stream scheduled for later if you want to follow through, man.
Oh, okay, because people
This
got
is
to know
this is all
about
I
this
ever play in
fusion,
the
man.
background, man. Well, this and
Oh,
just
really?
beats and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they request it all the time over here. Yeah.
Yeah, because I be slipping it in every now and then too, man. So I understand. So I'll check back through.
Okay,
But
that's what's up, man.
my parting shots is we got to have more of these conversations because all money and good money, and plus you got to know exactly what you need in your space. That's all I keep pushing because
Right.
you can't
Right. Right.
just because a chick is like hand and knees or whatever, it doesn't mean that's what's for you. So I ended at that. I appreciate you guys. Having this conversation. Appreciate you, Complex and the Black Brain Trust for having me here. I'll see y'all later.
I
All right.
appreciate you.
Peace, Art.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Yeah, yeah. I really like what Art said because these conversations. I mean, I know this space is more geared towards tech whatnot, but I feel like one of the things that's sort of not been established in the manosphere is like what are some of these things that people they talk about them so much in the abstract and they come up with all sort of definition for whatever they want to. Um, and speaking of what he was just speaking of, you could meet somebody who's very intelligent, and probably has some beauty to her, but she doesn't do it for you, right? And you could meet somebody who's a little less intelligent than that person who does it for you. So it's not really, I don't think there's a straight up black and white approach to it. It might be more of a personal thing. What's your threshold of intelligence you're willing to take, or intelligence you're not level of intelligence you're not willing to deal with? Um, well, there was it was a good conversation, man. Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate that.
appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming, stopping on through.
Appreciate you, Gino.
Yep.
Raw Truth, Bozeman.
I guess I'll go get my final remarks then. Yeah, like one of the brothers said, I think it all comes down to, different men have different goals and aims. So I think it's best to choose someone that works best for you and what you're trying to accomplish. Um, you have different relationship dynamics. You have different wants and needs as a unique man, as a unique person. So just pick based on your own specific criteria and the things that you're trying to accomplish. So appreciate you for having me on once again. You brothers have a good day.
All right, brother, you as well, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Peace, Jesse.
Truth,
I'll,
Raw.
I'll say my parting thoughts, gentlemen. First of all, peace to all of you. I hope your spirits are at peace. I will say that as forward-thinking kings, our ladies must be our complementary pieces in this game of chess we call life. It's important for her to have a curious mind with eagle eyes, because our women are our eyes and ears. They bring information to us like generals that we don't see nor do we hear. So does it help that she be sharp as a tack? Yes. But her willingness to be curious about life and to learn more must be at a 10. And her willingness to probe about you and to ask questions about you must be at a 10 as well. Because as a 25-year-old cat who's always been sapiosexual, I can say there's a severe lack of women who genuinely probe about the men in their lives, whether it be platonically or romantically, and they lack the interest in their men to ask them questions about themselves. They don't learn enough about the men around them, and they wonder why they get the men that they do. And then that'll be all for me.
Bro, you said 25?
Yes, sir.
You got a lot of wisdom, man. I can hear it already.
Thank you.
He's on the right track. Yeah, I
can
was like
hear it,
that your
man.
age once.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having
brother.
me.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Salute.
Raw Truth, Sorbadayu.
I go. Peace complex. I love always coming through.
Yes, sir.
The one thing I do like about this space is that I'm seeing people. I'm seeing black men evolve. Black men just have to stay curious. As I said on Roger's panel multiple times, you're gonna have to do a lot of reading and research. As for me, and I probably got about over college. Damn, I got over 20 years of reading and researching other. Okay. The reason why we can say the things that we say so definitively a lot of times because we put that work in. A lot of men who have research will take offense to the things that we say because we say things so forthright and we say it with conviction. And that's just because the work we put in. If you talk to a mechanic who's been a mechanic for 20 years, he don't care how you feel about what you think is wrong with your car. If he hears a certain noise, he's going to say just what it is. Boom, this is it. The carburetor, the radiator, something like that. So men just going to have to be much more curious. Ultimately, the most important piece on the chessboard is the king, because when the king falls, the game is over. The most powerful piece on the chessboard is the queen. She can move in all directions. So the king needs to know how to send his queen in the right direction to advance his interests so he can build his kingdom up even more. There are spaces that women can go into, feminine women can go into, and advance your kingdom for you. Because a lot of times people will judge you as a man when you're talking about elite circles based on what kind of king you are on that chessboard. and that is in relation to how you move your queen on that chessboard. And I've seen this, experienced this, and I'm telling you, that's how a lot of people will judge you. They can see your personal accolades and your education, but how you use that queen, how you have that queen in the proper position, will really let people know like you ain't nothing to fuck with, and they respect that.
Right.
And that's exactly what you want. So learn how to use that feminine queen chess piece on the board. Beta men, tend to take offense to a woman's accolades, but there's nothing to take offense of a woman's accolades when her accolades is helping you build up your empire. I'll leave it there.
Appreciate you, Rob.
Appreciate you, Rob. Peace.
Hey, I'm back now, Complex. I don't know if you called on me earlier.
Yeah, you good, man? We just getting last words in, man.
Okay, let me I'll get out of here. To me, I just want to see more black men find the marriages that they want, the families that they want. And I'm here to let you know you can get it. You can get it probably as close to what you want. You can come pretty damn close. Okay. Now, it might not be hard in a certain demographic. It might be a little hard in a certain demographic. But as soon as you leave that culture and go to any other different culture, it's a whole lot easier. So don't let your experiences within ADO specifically deter you from being a man who gets married, who has a strong, intact, healthy, happy, productive family. This is something you can do. And, based off my life experience, I would say the best way to do that is to get an intelligent woman who has reverence for you, who's feminine, she's loving, she's got motherly instincts, she's got to be attractive, she's got to be height, weight, proportionate. And one of the best things that any man can do is to make sure that you know what you want and you can communicate what you want to women. A lot of guys they get used to they almost take this beta position with women where they say, well, what do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Let me give you some money. Let me do this for you. Let me fill your needs. Let me hide who I am at the core to be who you want me to be so I can gain favor in your life. And that is the wrong direction to take. You will not get what you want. You're going to get in boiling hot water. But once you just say, you stand on your square with your back straight and your chin up, and you say, this is what I demand out of a woman. If you can do what I demand, if you have those qualities, if that's something that you actually want to do, we could probably work this out. But if you can't, then it most certainly is not going to work. We're going to cut this off right now, and I'm not going to waste my time. So don't let the people who've had bad relationships and they don't know how to vet women, don't let them deter you from finding a family for yourself. I'm out of here. Later.
Peace, Truth. I appreciate you, man.
Peace. Yeah, man. Great stream, man. I appreciate these conversations. And yeah, just like what Art said and the brothers up here that's come up here for the first time, and then the young dude, it's intriguing that they're learning about this conversation. Like the more we understand,
Moseman's been here before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But more,
he is. I think this is the first time he was on the panel. But
yeah,
he's been in the chat
yeah,
before, so
yeah. That's what I'm saying. But more conversations like this shows you that there is always an option to believe in this. I mean, this is like the most I've been on a panel. Like when you have guys that have a little pushback, a little disagreement, but as men, we should like learn to disagree. But it's cool though. But I salute Platinum for being brave that he was. That takes courage.
yeah, no,
He's
I
stepping
appreciate
out of
it.
it. Yeah, yeah. It's just like it takes a step out of your ideology, and I wish more men would understand that this is an example of what we're trying to do over here. And the more we push this, the better we look forward in the future. And then, like, this is the example of these men up here showing you, like, look, this is a way of being successful, but everything is an investment at this point. So all I have to say is, that, I mean, great stream, great brothers up here. Salute all of them. And I'm out of here. Peace.
Thanks, man. And I also wanted to salute okay. The chick who came up here. I appreciate her for kind of coming up and having an honest dialogue.
Right.
Because we got See, this is what I like. Like, I always encourage women to come onto the panels because this position ultimately is unisex in terms of
Yeah,
sapiosexualism. So all it's going to take is dialogue, and we're always going to find common ground. And like,
exactly.
that's what happened. And like I said, I don't know if she's still listening, but yeah, I'd welcome her to come back up if she'd like. So
She's always welcome.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, man. It's time for me to go get up with my little one and go get some dens together and do the daddy daughter thing. Now I do have a regular Sapio Males Guide to the Galaxy live stream scheduled for later. So that's
Okay.
typically my late night
What time?
9:30 Pacific. That's like when I'm everything's kind of shut down in the house, and then I can kind of do those.
It's probably midnight there where
Yeah,
I'm
so
at.
it'll be on some on a late night treat, man. So if
Yeah, I might listen in. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, man. You guys have a good one, and I will check y'all out a little bit later on. Peace.